Just figure out a couple things here. Microphone looks good. Check in on how it sounds. Just figure out a couple things here. Alright. Looks good. Let me just go to the challenge. Make sure none of these series were passes. Yeah, everybody played every series here, so there's nothing I have to prepare for. Cool. Oh boy. Okay, it has been a long time, ladies and gentlemen, since we've been streaming. Definitely not the third one today. How many best of threes do we have to go through? 3, 4, 3. Okay. So 10 best of threes. A total of possibly 30 games. And I have to go to sleep at some point. So we're not gonna fuck around too much here. Okay. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Gotrek versus Papa Palpatine. Oh, what the hell is this? Whatever. We're on a timer in general. We gotta bust through this shit. So we get Hero Hammer versus Hero Hammer. Okay. Gotrek versus Palpatine for Chieftain playoffs. Second from the highest on the leaderboard bracket. Greatest chaos build of all time incoming. Papa Palpatine. I am concerned. Also, why are you awake? Hi. Why are you awake? Thankfully, your series is first. At least catch a little bit of your own action before you need to go to bed. Alright, for the Warriors of Chaos, we have 2 Exalted Heroes of Khorne on their chariots. One with a Potion of Toughness, the other one without. Then we have Chaos Warriors with great weapons, Marauders with great weapons, and some Armored Chaos Trolls. We have a Chaos Realm Manticore, Sartorial the Everwatcher with Final Transmutation, Searing Doom. And that is it. Your bracket blockers or something, they're amazing. On the other side, we have Gyrocopters with Brimstone Guns. Other Gyrocopters, also Brimstone Guns, kiting around. A Dwarven Battleship formation. Front line of Ironbreakers, sides of Longbeards. And I saw the feed flicker for a second. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, we have Bugman's Rangers, a cannon, and then Thoric double Runesmith? Yes, and both of the Runesmiths have the Hammer of Characterize. Rune of Negation cast on the Bugman's Rangers, plus their already very potent spell resist means that Searing Doom did not do a lot of damage to them at all. So Arthuriel is chasing around the Gyrocopters with the Brimstone Guns. We're going to see what that's about. And the Chaos Realm Manticore is already rampaging after the Gyrocopters. Rest in peace, little friend. Rest in peace. They'd be better if they actually blocked, though? What? They do block. What are you talking about? GS, what are you actually talking about? You can't see any of the results. Is there something I'm missing there? You've got me all concerned, so if there's actually a problem, let me know. Anyway, the first of the Marauders is pushed away by the Ironbreakers. They fire a second round of blasting charges after the Chaos Trolls, who are right now just trying to regenerate up. Manticore is chasing around the Gyrocopter Brimstone Gun. The other Gyrocopter is free to come back and do whatever it wants. So Arthuriel has landed in the Bugman's Rangers. There's very little damage on the charge. And the Exalted Heroes get completely stopped by the Ironbreakers for now, as something is happening. A Final Transmutation that hits off both Runesmiths and then the whole front line. That is going to be a potent Final Trans. Alright. Marauders still doing their best. Armored Trolls are back in. The Exalted Heroes of Khorne once again try and push through the Ironbreakers. Barely getting through. Let me go back on stream. Yeah, they block everything. I checked. You can't see any orange telling you who wins. So Arthuriel is just causing a lot of disruption. He's stopping these Bugman's Rangers from firing. Cannons are still firing, technically. The other Bugman's Rangers are stuck dealing with Exalted Heroes of Khorne, who are chopping through. Potion of Toughness, giving some healing for this guy, plus armor and melee defense. And the Gyrocopter's not sure who they're shooting at. It was just a buy person that was revealed? Yeah. Okay, cool. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not spoiling anything this time. Last time I accidentally thought Golden Floof had a buy round be actually one round one, so I fucked that up. But this time I didn't fuck nothing up. Cannon's still trying to fire. It looks like they're shooting at armored trolls at point-blank range. Bounce power is about 50-50. As the dwarves are taking a lot of damage, I wonder if Sartorial will have enough Winds of Magic soon for another Searing Doom. He has greater Arcane Conduit, so he has pretty quick Winds of Magic regeneration. But another big Final Transmutation on both of the Runesmiths and the rest of the formation would be devastating on the side of the dwarves. Gyrocopter, one of them is infinitely kiting out the Manticore, but that also means the Manticore is running around. You're bad, but, like, I have fucked it up before, so when you said it, I wasn't like, that's impossible! It was like, again? I did it again? I swear I didn't do it this time. Alright. Chaos is routing. Now they'll be back and in greater numbers, like the Sand People. Rune of Doom is buffing up the dwarves for now. It looks like we have a Rune of Negation also cast on the Runesmith, as the cannon takes a big chunk out of Sartorial's health. He has no missile resistance like he used to. He only has physical resist now. Sartorial's back down. Bugman's Rangers are shooting at something at close range. The Exalted Heroes, one is very low, but the other one is actually just chilling. Gyrocopters both pushed away from this area as well. See if they can come back. I'm still waiting on that big other Final Transmutation. Cannons are at 3 models, very low HP. Zarvil should push them off soon as he continues to deal insane damage to them. How are these cannons hanging on? I mean, who are? But still. Thoric is giving the whole Dwarven blob perfect vigor, as most of them are still fresh. Yeah, most of them are still fresh. Some are active if he's too far away. Exalted Heroes dealing with these Runesmiths. We still have some Longbeards. Other Longbeards. And then a Rune of Wrath and Ruin is coming out of Thoric. Does pretty good damage to the Marauders. He continues on his way. Gyrocopters sniping out this Exalted Hero. But the Manticore catches up to the Gyrocopters. They didn't see him coming. He does knock one of them out of the sky. They're down to 3 models total. There's another Final Transfer from Sartorial, but I don't know if it even hits everybody. Okay, the Runesmith went back into it a little bit. I was worried he was outside of it for just a second. So most of the dwarves are still getting hit by it. Most of the dwarves are getting hit by it. Thoric included. He took a good amount of damage there. Trying to walk outside it, but he's still getting affected for almost the full duration. There it goes. But one of the Runesmiths is routing from the Exalted Hero that's dealing with it. Thoric's at half HP. The other Runesmith is under duress from Sartorial. But the Warriors of Chaos are just running out of any troops that can do anything here. We still have a half-health Longbeard. We have a full-health Longbeard. Bugman's Rangers helping out, another Longbeard. And then both the Gyrocopters are healthy-ish and have good ammunition stores. You were really freaking angry at those cannons not routing? Yeah, they didn't give a shit. Exalted Hero of Khorne, back to fighting the Bugman's Rangers, setting them on fire to reduce their healing a little bit. Trolls pile into the Longbeards. They'll need to back off, most likely, after some time. Where is Arthorial? So Arthorial's chasing around the Gyrocopters, just trying to keep them at bay, so his Exalted Hero can do some good work. I get that. I get that. Manticore's flying up. We're doing okay. Master Rune of Negation on the last Bugman's Rangers as Chaos Trolls try and get over here. And there's no Slayers that we have to worry about, per se. Bounce power is back to about 50-50, as the Warriors of Chaos do appear to be scrapping it out. We'll see if Sartorial has any more Final Transes in him that could finish off the Runesmith and do some good damage to Thoric, or if he's going to focus on Searing Dooms to damage the Longbeards. Either makes sense at this point. They're both fine spells for the situation he's in. Gyrocopters are going to be very annoying, though. They're kiting around. They can rout off the Trolls with just a couple slaps. And another Gyrocopter is crashed to the ground from this Manticore, which makes both Gyrocopters have 3 models left. So Thoreau's coming back over here, so I feel like he must have some reason for coming this way if he's not going to keep chasing down the Gyrocopters. Bugman's Rangers are going to tee off on him, but what is his plan? I'm surprised that him not working would stop you. Stop who? For what reason? Searing Doom is coming down. He is going to try and poke down those Longbeards. A little more concerned about them than he is about the hero hammer at this point, and I can kind of get that. The Exalted Hero of Khorne and Zarthoriel should be able to beat Thoric and this almost dead Runesmith. His problem is more of the obnoxious amount of Longbeards. Looks like he can't do too much about the Gyrocopters, so he's going to have this one that has more ammo get chased by the Manticore probably till the end of its days, and he's accepted that this Gyrocopter gets 5 more volleys off in its lifetime. I guess that's fine. Rune of Wrath and Ruin is going to hit multiple clumped up units, but they're mostly single entities and then trolls, which really don't care that much about it. Hi, Will. One of the Longbeards is gone, and then a follow-up. Searing Doom tries to hit the Longbeards. Gotrek is going to dodge forward. Still a decent little bit of poke as Sartorial charges through onto the Runesmith, but the Hammer of Carrick draws, lowers his melee attack down to 5. So he's really not getting too much done here, and he does need to back off. So he takes a nasty hit in the back from Thoric. And he's now in over his head. He's starting to try and path away, but he's going to take a lot of damage for his effort, and the Gyrocopters are working. All right, his charge animation took him out of here, so Sartorial needs to get back into the sky and recharge his Zinchian shields. Manticore still trying to chase around this other Gyrocopter. This one only has 2 models left, so something somewhere hit it somehow. Exalted Hero charges back in. And it looks like he is maybe trying to get out, but Thoric's going to get a free hit on his back any second here, so that's going to be a nasty trade for the Exalted Hero. Khorne's going to regret that. Does go to negative 49 leadership for no reason. Back up to -6. Feels good, feels good. And the Manticore and Zarthoriel are back. We have this Gyrocopter over here with 2 ammo and 2 models left. Looks like everyone's pretty happy to ignore them. Gyrocopters are going to poke off Zarthoriel's shields, but after that he should be able to keep chasing these guys and get his shields back up. I don't know what he does. At this point, he might just want to use the final transmutation. If he has Winds of Magic is a pretty big if, but like if he possibly does, then that might be better. Just because of how far behind on the balance power he is. And his only real hope is the Lord Snipe Thor can get the Dwarven leadership at least down enough that he can start routing them maybe. As Sartorial dives in, he kind of blunders the charge and just stands around like an idiot, loses his shields, and he's going to back off again as the Gyrocopters keep trying to rout this Exalted Hero of Khorne in the distance. Sartorial gets back into the sky, but the Manticore he sent in has died, meaning he doesn't have it to keep chasing around the Gyrocopters all day long. So now the Gyrocopters are freed up to do whatever they want, as everything on the ground routes for chaos, and it is just Sartorial versus the world. Sartorial's back in, charges the Runesmith once again. I think he hit on the landing, but then missed the secondary shot. And now he's just stuck. Takes big damage from Thoric. And that is GG for the Everwatcher. The Exalted Heroes of Khorne were bold. Better value than I would have expected. 3,400 on Zarthoriel himself. Armored Chaos Trolls did nothing. Chaos Warriors, the Great Weapons, did okay. Marauders, the Great Weapons, got rolled. And the Manticore was just around to annoy Gyrocopters. For Gotrek, 2,600 on Thoric. The Runesmiths didn't get a lot of value, but they were just debuffing things. Longbeards and Ironbreakers ground with the best of them. Bugman's Rangers did pretty well. Cannon did very well. And the Gyrocopters did great. GG. Alrighty. So then that was game 1 between you fierce fellows. Game 2. Apparently going 0-1 in a series is not a threat to our beloved Papa Palpatine, as he does take Kazric versus the Lizardmen. Alright, dude. You can make all the cases you want for Kazric. I'll agree with you on some of them. You're a Chad, and I'm not. I get it. I understand that I'm just a little baby boy. Kazric versus the Lizardmen is a bridge too far. What are you hoping to run into here? There's gonna be a big dinosaur. Like, none of their lords are infantry-sized characters that they're gonna seriously bring. You're gonna lose the whatever they put. Even a Slan can do okay versus Kazric. Okay. I disagree, and I am angry. On the side of Pop Palpatine the Beast, we have a Zongor, a front line of Ungor Spearman Herds, and Black Hordes Ravagers on the far side. We have triple Minotaurs, all of them with great weapons. With Groghub's Wolf's Run, Kazric on his chariot with Apocalyptic Visions and the Dark Mail, and then we have a Brachyman of Wild with Traitakin. A bunch of Centaurs in the flanks, and a dog off in the distance. On the other side, for Gotrek, we have double Ancient Salamander trying to kite, Skink cohorts with Javelins, 3 Pterodons with Fire Leech Bolas, a Ripperdactyl, Mazdamundi on Zlak, the cohort of Waddle, and a Skink cohort. I don't know what this Lizardman build is either. I am scared and alarmed. Alright, well, Kazrak gets in deep with the Skink cohorts with Javelins. He's trying to take care of them. Fire Leech Bolas throwing away here at the Minos. Getting some decent damage, though I think it's mostly the Javelin Skinks that are doing good work here. And the Beastmen are going to overrun the Skink front line very quickly. We'll see what the Salamanders can say about it afterwards. Meanwhile, Traderkin overcast onto all these units here. Got some decent little value. What up, Big D? Let's go, Chieftains. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Minotaur's falling back. Still taking some Fire Leech Bolas. And the Ripperdactyls are in the distance, waiting for something to rout where they can most likely just run it down. Salamanders and the Fire Leech Bolas, everybody doing good damage. I guess that's what this was for. The Salamanders give weakness to fire, and then the Fire Leech Bolas get a little bit more extra damage, I guess. Ripperdactyl's going to run down those guys. But the Beastmen are just winning across the board right now. Ancient Salamanders getting surrounded. Skinks close to routing in the backfield. All the Skinks from the front line did rout, so we're quickly getting down to just Mazda and the lads, which means the Traderkin caster is going to have an excellent day. Ruination of Cities, RN, Jesus, are you with the Lizards? Yes, that was really good damage for them, and a banishment's going through them too. There are some Chaos Warhounds off in the distance doing nothing. I see it. I see it, GS. One Ancient Salamander is down. Harmonic Convergence tried to keep it in the fight, but that will not be enough as the Minos continue to bump. They'll need to just swing at anything, though. I'm worried they're over-tunneling on the Ancient Salamanders where you need to kill the cohort of Waddle. Pterodon's still firing away. The full-health Ripperdactyl Rider in the distance chasing down an almost dead Mino doesn't seem to be a worthwhile allocation of resources, I must say. Kazrak is beating the Salamander. Goat? Oh, he's the goat. It's true. Mino's still trying to beat up on the cohort of Waddle. They're getting shot in the back by Fire Leech Bolas. And they're taking some decent damage here. But I have to think that the Lizardmen being surrounded, the cohort of Waddle will get beat up. They have damage resistance that's wearing off, and they have healing that's wearing off, and they're at half HP. If Kazrak and the boys can kill the cohort of Waddle, this game is probably over? Probably. Because then Mazdamundi's kind of helpless against all this. I guess there's still a full health Ripperdactyl, but I don't know how I feel about that. Cohort of Waddle get a Harmonic Convergence, giving them 71-77 for melee stats, making it very, very difficult to get through. And it's not like Kazrak has Apocalypse Divisions up right now to buff his Minotaurs. Infantry still clearing in here. Now Apocalypse Divisions, if it's off cooldown, of course, would be pretty great, because you have Spears, you have Blackburn Ravagers just trying to kill these guys. Another Apotheosis, this one Overcast on these guys. And the cohort of, not the cohort of Waddle, just regular-ass Pterodons. Anyway, they rock drop on top of the Minos with great weapons. Cohort of Waddle's healing cap is approaching as they continue to take big damage from Kazrak and these guys. There's Apocalyptic Visions, 61 melee attack plus bonus versus large versus the cohort of Waddle's 42 melee defense. And there is an overcasted Traderkin that we were looking for. There you are, little Wilds caster. Where have you been? Anyway, nice Traderkin is going to do a lot of good damage to Mazdamundi and the Salamander and the cohort of Waddle. That is huge. A banishment's going to go through these guys. We'll see how that affects them later. Meanwhile, the Pterodons and Ripperdactyls get into a fight that doesn't look like they're going to win offhand. We still have some Centaurs. A Ruination of Cities does decide the fight, though, as the Flying Birds try and get away. It routes off the Spearmen and the Centaurs as they go. Minos are all retreating from a rear charge from the Pterodons, and Kazrak is going to run down the Salamander, make sure it does not return. Mazdamundi is healing himself up and staying there. Balance power is about 50-50. Wild's caster being attacked by Ripperdactyls and Pterodons. Barely these dogs are staying in the fight next to him, but it doesn't seem like they're attacking too much. They're just kind of standing around. Yeah, they're having a tough time making contact with these flappy models. Salamander's shattered. You have some Centaurs who have rallied. I think Ripperdactyl models are jank as hell. I don't think they're bugged, I just think they're jank and, like, really bad. I do not enjoy them being meta. Sometimes they're tanky and invincible. Sometimes they die instantly. Sometimes they fully surround something and beat it to death. Other times they stand around and do nothing. Consistency! Anyway, Kazrak's trying to fight Mazdamundi. He does have Zongor and Blackhorde's Ravager support. We also have a Trader King caster helping out a little bit. The Trader King caster is now taking some pretty severe damage. He's going to want to get out of here. So Kazrick's trying to hold it together. Court of Waddle. Hold on. I need to see it. Holy shit! Triple Minos charging the one Cohort of Waddle, and they're the ones who flinch. They run away from that angry Power Fist alligator. I hate it. Fuck you, lizard men. Alright. Alright, of course they get high leadership. Why wouldn't they? Kazrick and the boys still fighting it out. It looks like another Traderkin happened while we weren't looking, as Kazrick is fighting alongside these guys, but gets a huge hit onto the Ripperdactyls as Apocalyptic Visions is popped again, giving him 69 melee attack. Very nice. Centaurs charge into the Pterodons, and all of a sudden this is looking real bad for the Lizardmen, as everything over here is going to shit. Kazrick is beating up Mazdamundi. He is a better duelist than that guy. 26 Fortitude does not good melee stats make. Mazda's still trying to fight back. He might have more Apotheoses in his pocket, maybe some more Harmonic Convergence too, so it's not over just yet. Also, the Beastmen could all terror out at the blink of an eye, as we have an Ungor Spearman Herd shatter. The singular Cohort of Waddle is coming back, while Minos also rally in the distance and are rejoining. Pterodon gets killed off by these Centaurs. Mazdamundi gives himself another heal. His heal cap is in sight. Shielded Old Ones gives him more leadership and damage resistance. Can the Beastmen hold? Zongor's at 8 leadership. Blackhorn's Ravagers chilling on leadership. I remember when the Lizardmen were considered a very subpar faction. Were they? I feel like Lizardmen have always been, like, fine. I wouldn't say they've always been meta, but I think they've always been, like, fine. I don't remember a meta where it's like, ha! He took the Lizardmen! What a fucking memer! Like, it's usually, oh, it's okay. Because, I don't know, Flying Taco used to main the Lizardmen, and Falcon, wait, yeah, Falcon mained the Lizardmen, but Flying Taco was more of the memer, and he did other stuff like Beastmen. Anyway, Overcasted Traderkin again on Mazdamundi, dragging him down. In the distance, the last Fire Leech Bulls are abandoning him, so Mazdamundi does appear to be quite alone. He's trying to fight his way out. Kazrick's still taking some damage. Minos have rejoined the fight, barely here. Mazda's trying to get over there and fight them, but he can't. Apocalyptic Visions is out, more melee attack, more leadership. Mazdamundi's getting chopped down, and he misses Kazrick one too many times. That will be GG. Lizardmen go down to the Beastmen moves. Kazrick, 1900 value. The Trader King caster, 3,400 value. Minos did fine, except one of them got ganked. And then Frontline did alright. Centaurs did very well. One of these Centaurs got 1,400 value from chasing off flying monsters. Mazda, 2,200 value. The Ancient Salamanders had nothing to do in this matchup, unfortunately for them. Skin Cohorts with Javelins overall did pretty fine. Cohort of Waddle did pretty fine. Ripperdactyls did alright. And then the Fire Leech Bolas actually all did get a whopping shit ton of value. They were drifting along when Vampire Counts and Slanesh were a thing. That's possible. I don't remember them being picked particularly often, but I'd have to throw my head back quite a long time to remember like what the state of the game was there. What? Okay. I'll explain my what in a second. Palpatine with Bretonia and a very sweaty try-hard build versus Gotrek Starbreaker on the Vampire Coast. And what is this? What is this? What's going on here? Back for the patch cycle where people were talking about Saurus buffs for some insane reason. Yeah, Saurus got buffed, yeah. Spellbound, literally the entire Lizardman roster got buffed. Oh, are you talking about the patch where you're talking about the Lizardmen weren't favored? Okay. Sorry, I thought you meant the one that just happened. Alright, we have 2 Grail Knights, Royal Hippogriff Knights, Alberic de Bordelot, and then a Damsel of Life with Regrowth and Earthblood, Peasant Mobs, Spearmen at Arms, and then 4 Archers. And that's for Vampire Coast. We have a very teeny tiny little box. 4 Zombie Pirate Deckhands mobs with pole arms. 4 animated hulks. We have the Lamprey's Revenge. Araness Assault's Pike with her net. And then her Kraken's Bane, bonus versus large melee attack that hits literally the whole blob. We have a Queen Bess, Mortars, and then a Vampire Fleet Captain of Vampires with Invocation and Attack and her Summon. And then the Gallows Giant. This is a wild build from Coast, and I have no idea how this will work. This Queen Bess manages to miss some Peasant Bowmen. Seems fine. Here comes another blast, never mind it missed. The archers are trying to get into range where they can kill off Queen Bess super quickly. And the Gallows Giant is routing off these peasants without much effort whatsoever. Big Queen Bess shot takes out half the HP of a Peasant Bowman. I do like that Mother Ostankia's Spirit Bear does more damage than Queen Bess's shot, and Mother Ostankia is, you know, much better than Queen Bess, but that seems fine. There goes another Queen Bess shot. And Bretonnia has committed to the front line. The Royal Hippogriff Knights get netted. Spearfisher's net and taunted. They have 0 melee defense as they're netted in these halberds and animated hulks. And then something gets cast over here. Power Stone or something. But yeah, the Royal Hippogriff Knights not having a good time being netted. Alberic jumps back in. Grail Knights are trying to cycle charge to the back line. They are taking some damage here and there. And Alberic is in. Hippogriff Knights get a regrowth. Keep them topped off, and they try and get away from here as peasant mobs try and block up the backline. Grail Knights continuing to cycle charge it out. And the archers are having a tough time getting in range because Queen Bess keeps destroying them instantaneously. Alberic's having a bad go. As now he gets away from Lamprey's Revenge and Aranessa. And then the Hippogriff Knights land on Queen Bess. Getting good damage on it. Can they shut it down to let the archers actually get in range at some point this game? We also have mortars in the backfield. So mortars and Queen Bess taking some damage here to let the archers join the fight. Now Vampire's Caster is already half HP, so is Aranessa, and some of the Hippogriff Knights are taking off on their own as they try and path out of here. Grail Knights continuing to cycle charge all around. And another massive overcast really hurts the Vampire's Caster as she summons a pistol mob out there. Alberic lands in the front line, where it looks like the pole arms are all dead. So this does leave... Nope, there are some pole arms. They're just right behind Alberic. Alright, so these guys are still trying to fight the animated hulks and stuff. And the Gallows Giant is kind of whooping on him right now as he sits in halberds. Araness Assault Spike's coming back for him. I don't think they have another Spearfisher's net off just yet. The Peasant Bowmen are still trying to rejoin this fight. Their leadership's real low, and they're still getting hit with artillery, which will keep routing them off. Balance of power is looking a little rough for Bretonnia at this moment. The Vampire Coast are taking a lot of stuff. Hippogriff Knights routing away due to the burnt leadership debuff. And then we have a Spearfisher's Net and a taunt on the Damsel of Life. Can they even appropriately punish this, or is that unfortunately just a waste of the last Spearfisher's Net? No, there's one more after this. Okay. Lamprey's Revenge trying to get involved. Bounce Power is turning further and further against Bretonnia as they are really struggling to get through this front line. Their archers have not been able to stand and shoot for the entire game as the artillery kept pushing them off. A cave to the meta-faction played Brett, who haven't played in like 3 years. I see. Yeah. Grail Knights are not enjoying this time. They're starting to fall back. And Alberic does not have any of his Wraths of Manon. There it is. Alright, so there's his second charge of Wrath of Manon. He charges in onto Araness Assault Spike now. Gets decent damage onto this Deckhands mob, but then just FFs. Alright, that works. I feel like this build loses to like 8 archers, but sure. That was a wild build. The zombie polearms all getting thousands of value except for the one that got 6. For Papa Palpatine and the lads. Hippogriff Knights 800 value. Grail Knights 300 and 400 apiece. Archers mostly didn't even get in range to fire ever. And that was GG. Curious on their value. I scrolled through it, but it was thousands. With Araness Assault Spike giving them more bonus versus large and also netting targets on them. It's nice. It's nice. Alright. the blocker. Okay, so you get out of the way. And then you get out of the way. So Gotrek advances to fight Maydave, who had a bye round. Let's go down to Ronan and Nurgle's PA. Boom. Nurgle's PA and Ronan. Dark Elves and the Empire. More Dark Elves, ladies and gentlemen. More Dark Elves. It's the only faction. It's the best faction. I don't get to cast anything else. It's just Dark Elves all day. For Nurgle's PA and his Dark Elves, we have Cold One Knights, Dark Riders. Also, Palpatine, go to bed. Go to bed, you silly shenanigans. Congratulations on your Kazric win, though. Springs versus Dark Soul Stealer. No one is shocked. 2 Witch Elves, 3 Dark Shards, Frontline Dreadspears, and Bleak Swords. Bye, Papa Palpatine. We love you. On the side of the Empire, we have 3 War Wagons, 2 Outriders Grenade Launchers, Balthazar Gelt up there with Searing Doom and Plague of Rust. Then we have a frontline of Spearmen and Swordsmen, Quad Empire Knight, and a Hammer of the Witches Great Cannon to just try and punish these guys and force them into you. War Wagons shooting at Dark Riders with shields for now. We'll see if that ends up mattering. I mean, they're getting some good poke, but we'll see if they end up running out of ammunition or something, and they'll be regretting shooting at random-ass Dark Riders with shields. Grenade launchers take half HP off of a Witch Elf. And the War Wagons continue to kite away as Empire Knights countercharge the Dark Riders. Should be a good trade for them as the cannons continue to poke down these Cold One Knights, taking a third of their HP on the approach. The Dark Elves are getting around the sides. We'll see if these Empire Knights and Spearmen can truly zone these guys off, or if the War Wagons and the Hammer of the Witches are about to get circled in a little bit. Madness of Cain has hit the Empire Knights. They are rampaging into Cold One Knights and Witch Elves, which is not good for them, and they're also outside of their spear support right now. The spears are nearby, but they're not actually here yet. Balthazar Gelt with an Overcast Plague of Rust, nerfing down the Cold One Knights, helping out the Empire Knights. And then Dark Riders stuck fighting Empire Knights and Spearmen. That is going to be a bit of a whoopsie, and they're starting to fall back now. They did take a lot of damage. They might just rout. Yeah, they both rout. That is really brutal. War Wagons trying to poke at the Dark Elf Lord. Meanwhile, Dark Shards have gotten in range, which means the Hammer of the Witches has maybe 5 seconds left to live before it is just going to outright die. Cold Knights winning on some of the flanks. Hammer of the Witches is routing. And now the Outriders Grenade Launchers are forced to run away. There are 2 of them. They have Firewall moving, so I guess they'll kind of aid these fights as they drive by. And there they go. Goodbye, Outriders with Grenade Launchers. You're doing great. Gelt's running around trying to avoid the Dark Elf Sorceress. Grenade Launchers thought they got to safety, and then they got rear charged by Dark Riders, who are buffed up by Murderous Browse, and now they're chilling. And they're still trying to get away. The Empire front line is getting massacred by the Dark Elves, so that's not going great. Their War Wagons are still all chilling and fine, and the Dark Elves backline has taken a lot of damage overall. I mean, their Dark Riders, their Cold Knights have taken a lot of damage. Right. I'm not sure what kills the Dark Shards. If we don't have Empire Knights in late game, because if War Wagons have to go do it, then they're going to have a bad time. And these Outriders with Grenade Launchers might be able to, but there's 3 Dark Shards in one of them, so if they approach, they'll get shot a lot. Grenade Launchers trying to stop these Golden Knights. Gets a little bit of damage, but they'll have to be careful. They'll have to back off, but instead they're going in. That is definitely a misclick, and a misclick that is going to hurt the Empire quite a lot, as now they've lost their 2nd Grenade Launcher. War Wagons trying to peel for themselves, with Balthazar Gelt running a little bit of interference. Some Empire Knights fighting to the death, but the death is what will claim them. Witch Elves and the giant Dragon Lord terrorizing off those guys. Some Outriders have gone off the map entirely. That might be the death of the Empire. Letting those Outriders get caught is pretty brutal. How many melee cav units did the Empire bring? 4. They brought 4 Empire Knights. War Wagons trying to kite it out. But that Dragon Lord has a ton of Soul Stealer healing left in her, and the Opal Amulet, so she's not going to die to War Wagons like anytime soon. And I think if she and the Dark Shards are this healthy this late in the game, then that's probably just GG. suppose one of the Dark Shards is about dead. Gelt must have Searing Doomed it or something, or some of the state troops got here. So we have 1.5 Dark Shards health-wise. One very healthy Coldwood Knight, a healthy Witch Elf, very healthy Soul Stealer cache that's getting a big pick-off on the backfield right now. Going to get a War Wagon and an Empire Knight off the field. Rampaging the Outriders Grenade Launchers back into Witch Elves that will route them again off the field. And yeah, this is looking all Dark Elf here. This War Wagon's routing. Its leadership is positive. It looks like it's getting far enough away from the melee that it should rally on the very edge of the map. Because it's very far away from those guys. Seriously? Okay, I guess it just goes all the way off the map for literally no reason. Nothing was around it. But, okay, that's fine. Nothing matters. War Wagon's still trying to kite out, but now Dark Shards are getting free shots on them. They're going to start to try and dodge here. Just a little bit. Gelt joined his Knights just as they routed, so now Coldwood Knights do have a surround on Gelt, and a Dragon Lord is coming in for him. I think this is the end of the road for the poor little campaign Elector Count, but not in real life Elector Count. Terror Out will take him, and that'll be army losses. GG. 1-0 start for Nurgle's PA here against Ronan. Dark Elf Lord didn't get that much value, but was just chilling. She had plenty of health and Soul Stealers left to contribute. Witch Elves, Dark Shards, good support units, but the Coldwood Knights really surrounded a bunch of stuff and pushed them off the battlefield, and Dark Riders were super annoying to deal with. GG there. For Ronan, Gelt was okay. He's a fine choice in the matchup. The Hammer of the Witches really didn't get too much done, and it hardly ever will. I guess it's anti-Scourge Runner tech, but Scourge Runners aren't that big of a problem for Empire anymore after like all the nerfs that Scourge Runners have taken over the years. Empire Knights did okay. As some people in chat are saying, you probably just want more of them. Outriders Grenade Launchers were really the only thing that paid for themselves in this roster. Yeah, because the War Wagons didn't get up there. GG. GG. Game 2, we have Kislev versus Wood Elves. Okay. And it's Zoats! I don't know who put what in the water, but people who keep taking Wood Elves and then picking Zoats are on crack. I suppose this is at least a full Wood Elf, like, mobility build. There's no infantry here.
You know the horrors of the deep forest.
Alright. For the Wood Elves, since they're built smaller, I'll start with them. 4 Glade Riders with Hagbane tips, 3 Glade Riders with spears, 2 Zoats, a Spellsinger of Life, and then we have a Glade Captain on an Eagle, and the Sisters of Twilight on a Dragon. Alright. For Kislev, we have a bunch of Horse Archers and Kossovite Dervishes. It looks like 4 of each? No, 3 of the Melee Dervishes, 4 of the Horse Archer variant. 5 Armed Kossars for a front line, 2 Akshina Ambushers, and then we have a Patriarch on horseback, Mother Ostankia with Flock of Doom, and then the Mordheim Beowulfs for their, I don't know, healing stuff. Is Eltharion any good online? No, not really. Not really. He's too expensive. There's a bunch of other stuff. Like, he's not terrible. There's worse choices, but he's not, like, good. Patriarch's getting sniped out really hard by the Glade Captain, the Sisters of Twilight. He is having a rough go. He might honestly have to pop his voluntary heal, because his other heal only procs when he's in melee, but he is dying very quick, so he needs to pop Silly Lullaby, like, right about now. You need to heal or you will die. Dark Rider's going to take a charge. Oh, I'm so used to Wood Elves that I just see purple Cav and I assume it's Dark Riders. Kossovite Dervishes take a charge with the Glade Riders. They get an Earthblood and then Flesh to Stone for all that physical resistance. They're not going anywhere. Other Glade Riders are running through, though. I don't know what deals with this Armored Kossar front line. Like, in the whole build, I don't know what deals with the Armored Kossar front line. I guess, like, Zoats have to, but all these cavalry can't do it. Glade Riders, Flesh to Stone wears off. Maybe they will actually start taking damage now. Kossovite Dervishes buy our blood, passive propped, so they just solo dive into the back line. Trying to get these Glade Riders with Hagbane tips, but they are still Dervishes. They don't have insane melee stats. Like, not really. For the Wood Elves, they're sniping the Patriarch. I mean, that's something. Glade Riders, one is already routed, taking significant damage. The other one is routing now. Sisters of Twilight and the Glade Captain still trying to finish off the Patriarch, though they are sitting above a bunch of ranged. Taking a good bit of damage here. And the Cosified Dervish in the back is wiped out in its entirety by the Zotes and the Parting Tools. Patriarch 300 HP. One more volley from the Sisters and one more volley from the Glade Captain should finish him off. There goes the Sisters. They just use their homing missile. Oh, my mother was thank you. Okay, that's fine. Things in the woods and Cosified Dervishes trying to wrangle the Wood Elves and stop them from escaping as the infantry slowly catch up and push them into the corner. I like this. I like this a lot. When you're getting kited, it is nice to spread out and make sure your opponent gets pushed into a corner. Now there's no way out for them, unless they take a direct fight, which is the last thing they want to do. So as long as the Kislevites infantry spreads out, which it's clumping up a bit, but as long as it spreads out and really forces them in, they'll be okay. But it looks like Ronan and the Wood Elves are trying to break free. They're trying to take this fight before the infantry arrive. And the infantry are very clumped up that if the Sisters of Twilight had used a breath attack right here down these two armored Kossars, that would have been really, really good value. I don't know if they've done any breath attacks so far. They have done one at some points, might still be on cooldown. Zotes beating up the things in the woods. There's a lot of fire coming in from Kislev. They don't seem to be fully in position to deal with this. Glade Riders probably need to also take this chance to escape because they aren't using the door that the Zotes just bought them. Right? They're falling back further to the white line again. Yeah. Machine Ambushers and Armored Kossars moving up. Bounce power is slightly in the favor of the Wood Elves after all this. And the Glade Riders are making a run for it. These Kossars with their pistols, though, should be lighting these guys up. And it looks like even the Horse Archers might just buy our blood charge over here to get these guys to maybe route off the edge of the map. More Horse Archers and more Cosified Dervishes are piling into this backfield. And as these guys start routing, they take themselves directly through the white line. There they go. All of them are routing off the backfield. And Glade Rider is going to keep routing and keep routing. Now, the bounce power isn't terrible. It's about 50-50. We still have two Zotes piling back in here to deal with things in the woods. Kislev has suffered a lot of damage, and the Sisters of the Twilight are sniping out Mother Ostankia right now. She's trying to get to safety, but the Patriarch is dead, so there's no healing for her at all. I mean, she could have brought her Goulias, but she didn't. The snipe continues. Mother Ostankia down to 1,000 HP. Buyer Blood wears off. She's down to 7 leadership as she tries to get out of here. Actually, no, Buyer Blood just popped, so now she's trying to get out of here while she still has any HP left at all. Kossars and Archers and Auction Ambushers, everybody's firing into this weird old blob fight. Mother Ostankia does make it away. Things in the Woods going to tear her out this close to the edge of the map probably just means that they die. And another Earthblood tries to help people out. Meanwhile, Flock of Doom from Mother Ostankia deals with the Zotes a little bit. The Auction Ambushers are still firing into them. Bounce power is still dead even, as Kislev's Buyer Blood passives wear off now. They're all routing straight off the map. The Sisters of Twilight are low. Did they bring their Conjoined Destiny? No, so they have no healing without their caster. Now, of course, they have a caster and they can spam Earthblood, but still. Glade Captain's above half HP, that's fine. Zotes are running out of trouble. And I literally, at the start of the game, said, what kills the fucking Armored Kossars? And here we are, at the end of the game, and all 5 Armored Kossars are full goddamn health. What kills them? There's nothing here to kill these Armored Infantry! They're trying to heal the Zotes, but the Zotes are getting worked on by these Armored Kossars. It's insane. That's going to be a huge breath attack down the line, if it feels like it, especially onto these two clumped up. There it is. Let me see it. Let me see the damage. Oh! Most of them actually are gone. 1/4 of an Armored Kossar, but that's not nearly enough. Mother Ostankia is trying to rejoin the fight, but the Glade Captain should finish her off in 1 or 2 more shots. Sisters of Twilight have landed. Zotes are getting out of here. They're going to rout any second now. There's the chain route in for the Wood Elves. Mother Ostankia is gone, but it doesn't matter, dude. Look at these hit leadership bars. They're not even close to routing. Sure, this Akshita is Buyer Blood, but who gives a shit about that? That's fine. Earthblood is out to try and heal these guys up, keep them in the fight, but the Auction Ambushers and the Armored Kossars is just turning and burning down the Sisters of Twilight. Blade Captain's also in here, and these Kossars just don't care. Their HP burst hasn't moved this whole time. Like, there's nothing to kill them. Ugh. What melee corps? Don't bring melee infantry? I mean, yeah, but like that's the problem with this is like killing the armored Kossars is really, really difficult with like this style of full kite that he took, where like everything was mobile but didn't have any armor piercing or anything. Because he's killing the Akshina ambushers, that's fine, but the Kossars don't give a single shit about what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to times 2 speed as we just watch armored infantry grind through single entities. Sisters of Twilight got very far away, and now they're just shooting with their spread shot to try and get as much spread damage as possible. Glade Captain had to dive into melee. He's out of ammunition, and he did not enjoy that fight whatsoever. Pistols turn and burn on him, and maybe he'll get an Earthblood or two, but he's already routing. Sister's still trying to nuke all these guys down with their spread shot, but it's not working out too good for him, and an Earthblood tries to heal them up on the dive. Glade Captain's back in for one last hurrah. Akshina Ambushers stuck fighting the Spellsinger, and that is army losses. Mother of Stankia, 2,600 value. Akshina Ambushers, 1,400 and 1,100. And then the Armored Kossars across the board doing really, really well. Horse Archers did fine. Kosovo Dervishes did fine. For Ronan, it was a creative build, but like he really lacked anything to deal with armored infantry, and that burned him in the end. Zotes together didn't even pay for one of them. Glade Riders did okay. Glade Rider Spears did not do very good. But the Glade Captain on the Eagle actually did very well. Same with Sisters of Twilight, they did awesome. So, it was close, but like anything that wasn't a single entity was rough for him. Yeah. Alright, so that should be a 2-0 for Nurgle's PA if I remember correctly. Let me actually check the replays because I mentally wasn't checking who won. Because, yeah, he won the Dark Elves, then he won the Kislev, so yep, that's a 2-0. I was like, he won game 1, right? Alright, boom, which can reveal that. Then we go down to Calamity and Jack. Jack, also known as I Am Very Thanks Them, in High Elves versus the Empire, in a weird High Elf build. A weird High Elf build. I feel like Alariel and a Star Dragon never does as well as Imric and a Healing Caster. I don't know. I feel like it's like... I understand the stuff on paper that people try to tell me, but it's just never... I never see it pan out. You know? If Ronan brought a Rush 20 stack or Foot Kite, he's going to get overrun by Cavalry Rushes. No, I wasn't saying that. I was just saying that, like, whatever his kite build was, I do think it has a weakness to that armored infantry. Like, he needed some form of armor-piercing missiles or something. Or Great Stag Knights. Maybe, like, 1 or 2 Great Stag Knights instead of Zotes could cycle charge the armored Kossars. But, like, we just saw it there. Like, nothing could deal damage to armored Kossars in that build. So it's just a build deficiency. I'd probably cut the Zotes and get 2 Great Stag Knights, personally. Alrighty, for this matchup here, Calamity with triple Pistoliers, then Outriders with Grenade Launchers. We have a Witch Hunter, Balthazar Gelt with Final Transmutation and Plague of Rust. Then we have the Silver Bullets, 2 Mortars, and a bunch of Empire Knights with some State Troops in the front. On the other side, for the High Elves of Jack, we have Alariel the Radiant, a Star Dragon. Alariel does have her heals and then Foz protection. Triple Dragon Princes, and then a front line of White Lines of Krace. This is a tiny High Elf army. Yeah. Star Dragon's trying to figure out what to do. Alariel is also flying around, but the Mortars are currently punishing some White Lines of Krace. Accusation, lowering the missile resistance and physical resistance and armor of the Star Dragon. Earthblood and Foz protection, trying to heal it back up as the Silver Bullets and the Pistoliers make it regret ever being born as it starts to run away. Dragon Prince is still trying to bust through the front line, and they do at last crack through the Empire's armor, getting onto the Silver Bullets as we have Empire Knights countercharging. Will there be another Plague of Rust from Balthazar Gelt to let them actually do damage to this Dragon Prince, or not? We will see. White Lions follow up, though. It's going to be a tough fight for the Empire to peel out this back line. Mortar still holding on for now. We do have Outriders, Grenade Launchers still trying to deal with the White Lions of Krace. There is that Plague of Rust overcast onto the Dragon Princes, lowering them down to 50 armors. They get surrounded by Empire Knights on all sides. Pistoliers need to fall back away from the Star Dragon. And the first Star of Avalorn is out, trying to heal up the Star Dragon and some of these other guys, but they're just on the little edge of it. Just the little teeny itty bitty edge. So some of them aren't getting that healing every so often. Empire State troops starting to die to the White Lions, but they have done good damage, and the mortars are also still firing in. So that's going fine. Overall, I think the Empire is pretty happy with the state of the game so far, though the High Elves have healing, so if they fall behind early, it's just about hanging on till late. Swordsmen retreating. We have other swordsmen taking up their place, and 2 Empire Knights still following off the Dragon Princes. Where are the Dragon Princes counts? Half health, 3/4 health, 1/3 health, and then the Star Dragon's at 2/3 health. Okay, Alarielle's also fine. For the Empire, getting a little concerned. Without the silver bullets, which look like they did run all the way off the map, without the silver bullets, the single target armor-piercing DPS is really lacking from these guys' build, and that means they're going to have to deal with the Dragon and these Dragon Princes with, I guess, fucking Pistoliers and a grenade launcher? Like, what is going to kill them here? And I think that's why we should be very concerned. Dragon Princes and a Giant Dragon fighting against the Empire Knights. It looks like Alarielle's even going to join in, so that's going to be a mass rout from the Empire any second here. They're going to both get terror routed. In the distance, Dragon Princes have pushed the Pistoliers against the White Lion. Looks like Calamity got most of them out. One is still kind of involved in the fight, and that is a huge final transmutation. Good stuff. Overcasted on the Star Dragon and Alarielle and the Dragon Princes. It's overall really good. I mean, Alarielle's probably going to heal them up, but it's insane damage, so nice stuff from Gelt there. One mortar is compromised by the White Lions of Krace. Now some grenade-friendly fire might take the elves with the mortar team, but it is what it is. Again, I'm extremely concerned about the DPS against the Dragon Princes and the Star Dragon at this point. I'm not really concerned about clearing out the rest of the White Lions. I think the Empire has that in spades. Alright, y'all talking about Zotes. I acknowledge that I see it, but I have nothing to add. So, you carry on. Pistoliers trying to do what they can everywhere. Meanwhile, a half-health Dragon Prince and a 1/3 health Dragon Prince are cleaning up the backline of the Empire. Balance power's turned against them, and I definitely agree. For sure. Both mortars are offline. We have a couple Empire Knights who are tattered, trying to help out. And Gelt is still full HP, which is a lot of this balance of power. If this Star Dragon has his way with him for a couple more hits, then that balance power will tank by quite a lot. Witch Hunter is also a good amount of balance power. A lot of ammunition. He's a hero and stuff, but not going to beat a Star Dragon or Dragon Princess. Pistoliers continuing to kite it out as best they can, shoot sideways into these Dragon Princes, who are very low. How are we doing on Stars of Avalorn? One left. If she can group up all 3 Dragon Princes and get a Star of Avalorn on them, that would be clutching out the game. Like, that is just GG. There's no way the Empire can come back from that much healing. As it is, though, we have Outriders grenade launchers shooting at Dragon Princes and White Lions on top of each other. That could be a good little bit of bonus damage that they desperately need right now. Still don't think it makes all the difference. We have all these other Dragon Princes coming around, but, you know, it's something. Dragon Princes catch the Outriders, following them around. Gelt tries to dive in and provide a little bit of cover fire, though I wonder if the Star Dragon just jumps on Gelt. Witch Hunter in multiplayer seems strange. It feels strange. Doesn't feel like it's going how they wanted it to. Another overcasted final transmutation onto the Star Dragon and Larry and the Dragon Prince. Gelt's getting some good ones in this game. 2,000 value while also providing Plague of Rust. Yeah, those have been some good final transmutations. And Alarielle's getting real low. Still has that final Heart of Avalon. She might need it soon, honestly. Overcasted Plague of Rust from Gelt as these Pistoliers try and kite away. 50 armor and bronze shields for the Dragon Princes. Still plenty to deal with Pistoliers, honestly. And the state troops trying to regather, but there's tons of White Lions around that can deal with them. Witch Hunter's trying to poke down Alarielle the Radiant. She has missile resistance. 15%, so it's not that bad. And the grenade launchers are back to deal with some of these guys again. Dragon Prince is still peeling off all 3 of these Pistoliers despite the Plague of Rust and despite Gelt. It's fine. Grenade launchers take a Star Dragon breath attack. Bounce power continues to get worse here for the High Elves. For the Empire. And I want Larry to just hurry up and use that Star of Avalorn while she still has Dragon Princes to use it on. Like, land right here with your Star Dragon. Well, you don't even need a Star Dragon. Fuck him. Just use Star of Avalorn, like, right here. She's letting herself get too low so that she's actually losing models on Dragon Princes from these, like, grenade volleys and things. But, alright. The Empire just FFs because they didn't, like I said, they didn't have the DPS to kill the dragon. either way. Hey, Zerlock. Hey, Avery. For Calamity, 2,600 value for Baltzar Gelt. Pretty good stuff overall. Silver Bullets did alright. Empire Knights did their best. Grenade Launchers did fine. Pistoliers got really good value considering, and Mortars fired for a long time, but there was too much healing. Yeah. The other side, Larry, not a lot of value. Star Dragon, also not a lot of value. Dragon Princess did most of it. And then White Lions pushed slowly through the front line. But nothing on the Heil Froster is going to get a lot of value here, because again, with most kite builds, the value you get is the enemy using ammunition at you. It's not really you killing stuff. Like, all three of the Pistoliers were still healthy. That was 1,500 gold value still on the map, right? Gelt was still full health. That's another, like, 1,500. So there's, like, 3,000 gold value that was on the map when the Empire surrendered. Not that I disagree with the surrender, it's just that's what ammunition mages get you. Alright. I guess I get to just keep going insane. As Jack picks Skaven. Jack picks Skaven into Dark Elves, and Calamity, for some reason I can't possibly understand, does not take fucking Malice Darkblade. Literally a lord designed to kill Skaven. It just kills Skaven. He has a bound leadership debuff aura, and it can turn to a giant monster with Soul Stealer and explosions that deal with all this shit. Like, why would you not take Malice here, or like a Deathcaster or something? Why are we taking fucking Loke here? Whatever, it's fine. He wants to lose, I don't care. It's fine, let him lose. It's okay. Just take a random-ass foot character when you have some of the best lords in the entire game at sniping Skaven characters. It's fine. It's fine. I don't care. I'm not mad at all that everyone just plays wrong against Skaven and loses. It's fine. I'm not mad. All right. Dark Elves versus Skaven. For the Skaven, we have Ikka Claw, Packmaster, Chieftain, four actually, Poisonman Gloves, 4 Rat Ogres, then a bunch of Clan Rat Spears, Skaven Slaves on the front line, and 1 Wolf Rat. On the other side, for the Dark Elves, we have Dark Riders, double Feral Manticore, bunch of Dark Riders, a front line of Bleak Swords and Dread Spears, bunch of Black Arc Corsairs, 2 Shades with dual weapons, and then a Sorceress of Fire with Burning Head and Cascading Fire Cloak. Calamity is an ODM recruit? No. I don't think they've recruited him. If they did, that's news to me, but I thought he was clanless. Alright. The mass Dark Elf Infantry Rush is getting mostly massacred by Skaven right now. They are not having a good time. Shades are going to delete some Poisonman Globes. No! Why did you do that? Okay, he was using the Burning Head on the Clan Red Spears. That's fine. Because it goes through the Poisonman Globes, which does literally no damage to them. Globes don't take any damage from Burning Heads. Alright, Dark Rider's trying to get into the back line. Skaven are up on Balance of Power by quite a fair bit. That always happens. Wolf Rats charge out. They get nuked by their own globes on their way to get the Shades, but some of the globes also hit the Shades, so I guess that's fine. Then the Shades kill the globes. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Skaven Hero Hammer is doing just fine. 1 Manticore is out of here already, and we have some Dark Elf units standing a little bit AFK. They do need to get back in the game. Do need to start fighting. Yeah, what are these guys doing? There they go. Now they have orders to move back in. Murderous Prowess is popped. Skaven Hero Hammer is chilling. They're just walking away from Lokir. The hard counter to Lokir is just walk away from his ass. But sure. Shades trying to be rallied by the Dark Riders and their Fire Sorceress. Balance of Power is favoring the Skavens slightly. Most of our globes are routing, which is a little concerning. And Lokir decides to pick a fight with the Hero Hammer. We'll see if the Chieftain can get some good hits on him. There's a good dunk. Nice job. And if Ikit bothers on throwing a Flensing Ruin at him. I don't think I've seen Ikit throw a Flensing Ruin out. Why would you throw it over here? Okay, I don't like that at all. Flensing Ruin is pretty much an AoE Spirit Leech, so it's currently hitting a random-ass Manticore that's not doing well anyway, and then some Dread Spears. That is not a good use of that spell. I hate it. You should only use it on characters. Only use it on characters. Just use it to kill the enemy lord. Please never do that again. Okay, Chieftain and the Packmaster are losing to Lokir, so they're going to back off. Skaven are down to the Balance of Power. Shades moving up, but now the Shades are going to die because they're getting charged at by a big old scary Packmaster. Naked Claw's also going to roll over these guys. Feral Manticore's chilling. The Dread Spear took, like, negative damage from that Flensing Ruin, so please don't do that. Please. Please, just cast Flensing Ruin on singles entities, guys. Loke here is still fighting with the Packmaster. Quick little Brass Orb trying to deal with the Shades with dual weapons. The other Shades tear out away. Rat Ogres are rallying on the far side. Manticore's diving in. The Manticore is now rampaging. Packmaster's thinking about routing while Loke here and the Manticore beat up on him. Chieftain's actually just going to opt out of this fight. Now the Shades are shut down by Ica Claw. Another Burning Head goes to Skaven Slaves, but they do dodge it. We still have a full health Rat Ogre. We still have a Clan Rat Spear coming back, but it's getting a little spook magook for the Skaven. Zerloke, you won't do it again, you promise? Good. Don't use Flensing Ruin on blobs, unless the blobs are single entities. Because single entities, giga damage. Giga damage. Packmaster and the Chieftain gonna finish off this Feral Manticore. And the Skaven are doing alright. The Dark Elves are extremely depleted, and if they keep their Hero Hammer together with these healthy Rat Ogres, the Packmaster can heal up himself and the Chieftain and the Rat Ogres so they can stay nice and healthy. And then if you use all the rest of your Flensing Ruins on Loki or Felheart, you're going to be completely fine. That Firecaster, ignore her at this point. Don't try to snipe her, she's not worth it. The only spell she has that's worth anything is Burning Head, and okay, she's going to kill your last Clan Rat Spears. Who cares? Like, who cares? Leave her alone. Just go for Loki here. Use Flensing Ruins on him, avoid him in melee, and just kite him out that way. But don't chase around the Sorceress of Fire, because that's going to be a waste of your time. You do need to keep your Molder monsters all together so they can all heal up as much as possible, because you need to buy time. At this point, you're just buying time for Ikit to get another Flensing Ruin or two. One overcasted Flensing Ruin while Lokir's surrounded like this, he'll rout, and then you can chase him off the map. Two, you can kill him. Right. Lokir's in a 3v1, surrounded by Skaven Chaff. There are also Rat Ogres nearby. And Ikit should have another Flensing Ruin soon, because I only saw one this entire game, and it was earlier. So we should have another one. There goes a Burning Head. Here's a Flensing Ruin. It's not attached to Lokir. It's actually just on the ground. So he could try and run out of it, but I think he's on foot. He's surrounded by a bunch of Skaven stuff, so he probably can't get out of it super easily. As the Rat Ogres start to just push him out of it. What? No! No! Keep him in it! Keep him in it! FYI, you can just target Flensing Ruin on Lokir, so it'll follow him around. You don't need to put it on the ground over there. But, alright, he is going to stay in it, it looks like. 3 seconds left on it, so overall pretty good. And like I said, if he is surrounded and taking a bunch of damage, one might rout him, but Ikit fucked off. And I think Ikit is the only source of terror. No, the Packmaster is, so actually Lokir just did not terror out. Lokir taking some damage. Ikit Claw with the rear charge should probably trigger the terror route onto Lokir, and then that'll lower his leadership enough that it'll naturally route, and then you should be good. The bounce power for the Dark Elves is artificially inflated by a full health caster, but you don't care about it. Like, literally just ignore it, right? In late game, she'll have to come to you. What you gonna do? Cast Burning Head on 3 single entities? Fuck her. She ain't gonna do nothing. I don't love these Rat Ogres off on their own. Feels a little unnecessary. They'll win the fight with the Dark Riders and maybe the Bleak Swords too, but they're going to take a little bit more damage than they need. But the Skaven have this in the bag for sure. There's nothing the Dark Elves can do now. Lokir is just infinitely routing. He only gets his heal when he's in melee, which is going to take rear charge every time he's in melee. Claw's trying to rout him off. And Ikit should still have another Flensing Ruin that he can just slap on the Fire Sorceress and it's going to be fine. He threw it on Lokir, so now it's going to stay in place. So the Sorceress of Fire should be able to dodge it if she feels like. She is just opting in the fight while standing in the Flensing Ruin. There she goes. Now she runs away, which is smart. So she's backing off. I don't think she can win, but, like, I mean, that is correct play. Rat Ogre's taking a lot of damage out here on their own with Dark Riders and Bleak Swords surrounding them. But then the Packmaster and the Chieftain catch up to her, get big shots on her, terror routing her, which causes the bounce power to spike away. And again, I really don't think there's anything that the Dark Elves can do. Some half-assed Dark Riders and Bleak Swords can't kill Ikit and the boys, so this shit is over. And the Skaven will get a dub. But don't bring fucking Lokir. He doesn't do anything. Don't do that. At this point, these guys are just going to grind through everything, and that's GG. Well played, Jack. Well played, lads. Overall, he did play very well. There was one Flensing Ruin that I didn't like, but like the rest of his game was really solid. Had good commands on most of his units. Poison Globes did really good. His build was fine. It was well put together. Good job. For Calamity, I did not like the build. I think in-game he played it pretty fine, but like, I think his build set him back a couple feet. That was pretty tough for him to catch up. Lokier got 900 value. Firecaster was fine. I have no issue with that if it's paired up with like Malice or something. But Shades did pretty well overall. Dark Riders were a good choice. And Feral Manticores, we've been talking about this earlier today, so I won't go into it for too long, but I just generally think Feral Manticores in Warhammer 3 aren't amazing. But versus Skaven, I get it. They're a cheap source of terror, and that's fine. Maybe take like 1. 2 feels a little bit excessive. Because I feel like they're weak to too many things. Gutter Runners, Night Runners, Action Triads, Rat Ogres, Cleansing Ruin, which you're probably going to take for Malice anyway. So, I don't know. 1's fine. 2 feels like much. Alright, I took you guys to the Photoshop. Nice. So, Jack 2-0's Calamity moving up to fight Bavaret. Alright. Back to the top. Maydave and Gotrek Starbreaker. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm going to go back to sitting mode. Bum, bum. Hey. Dwarves versus Ogre Kingdoms. This is usually a very hard matchup for Ogre Kingdoms, and I know Gotrek is quite good at it, so I am concerned for Maydave's well-being. Though, since I have talked to Gotrek about that matchup, Thoric lost his global buff thing, so I don't know. Yay, Skaven win? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alright, making sure you guys are still with me. Alrighty. For the Dwarves, we have 2 Gyrocopters, Brimstone Guns. These are surprisingly hard to kill for the Ogre Kingdoms. Some Maniers with pistols can kind of do it, but Gyrocopters in general are just really good at dodging stuff. Then we have a bunch of Dwarf Warriors for a front line. Double cannons. And then we have Hans Varhelsen, terror-causing, unbreakable ghost monster. Basic Thane, Thoric Ironbrow, double Slayers, one of which is dragged back, and then we have a bunch of Miners, not with blasting charges. On the other side, for the Ogre Kingdoms, we have 4 Lead Belchers that are currently dueling with the Gyrocopters a bit, some Ogre Bulls with dual weapons, double Gorgers sneaking along the bottoms there, Boglars of the Mad Marshes, 2 total Nobbler Trappers, 1 for CRR, and then we have Scrag the Slaughterer. I like this a lot versus Dwarves in Grand Cathay and Chaos Dwarves, anybody that will have armored infantry you're not used to dealing with. Brain Gobbler and Troll Guts for him. Does Double Hunter not smash Dwarves? Gyrocopters do a lot of damage to them. Yeah. Why am I okay with Dwarf boxes? But I hate Cathay boxes? I don't love Dwarf boxes, but they're a little less toxic because Dwarves don't have all the healing that Cathay can bring. And Cathay has better ranged capacity than Dwarves do. And Cathay has monstrous... Well, they have giant monster SEMs and they have cavalry and stuff, so it's like they get all the benefits of being dwarves, but then like more. And they have magic. The Lead Belchers have moved up, and they're all single gold chevron Lead Belchers, by the way. But the Gyrocopters seem to have lost the plot a little bit. One let these Lead Belchers come back. I wonder if they should have charged into melee to keep those guys running. This other one is shooting at another Lead Belcher trying to push it away, while the cannons continue to tee off on those guys. Some Nobblars have gotten through as Gorgers tear apart these poor little Dwarf Warriors, and the Hero Hammer of the Dwarves is trying to stop the bleeding of the front line. Slayers taking damage from the Boglars of the Mad Marshes, and Lead Belchers firing in. The cannons are still at 7 out of 8 total models between all of them. The Nobblars that snuck in now beset by Slayers. The Miners are going to push away those Boglars of the Mad Marshes. Meanwhile, the Lead Belchers, the gold chevron leadership is keeping them in this fight as cannons try and kill them off. Gyrocopters also trying to get rid of those guys. And Scrag and the boys on the front line. What did he just cast and onto who? He cast a Troll Guts onto the Gorgers. Nobblars end up in melee with the double things. And that is rough, though the Nobblars are trying to hurt the Slayers without going into melee with them with the Ogres. Meanwhile, the cannons are attacked by these Ogre Bulls with dual weapons, sprinting up with the Slayers countercharge, and Dragonback Slayers will eat these Ogre Bulls alive quite quickly. And not even be close. Where's the second Slayer? Ah, there's the second Slayer. So both the Slayers are in this fight, meaning those Ogre Bulls need to get out of here. The Boglars of the Mad Marshes firing up and over, and the Gorgers doing some pretty solid work on the flanks for these Dwarf Warriors and Miners. The Brimstone guns are just keeping all 4 of the lead belchers at bay. I think some of the lead belchers are trying to fire in here, though. I don't think it's amounting much. 600 value. When they're gold chevron like this, they probably cost closer to 1,300. That one's dead at 500. That one's dead at 160. That one's shattered. 420. Alright, all the Noblars are routing away from the double Thanes. We still have some Gorgers up on the front line causing a bit of a ruckus. Scrag is causing some trouble too. And there's another Gorger back here. The Dwarves are about to lose both cannons, most likely. Can they hold on? The Slayers are almost dead. Dragonbacks are fine, but the regular Slayers are almost dead. It's their Hero Hammer that's still very much alive, and these Gyrocopters in the backfield have plenty of ammunition to come up and give Scrag a hard time, but they're just going into melee now to chase off the lead belchers, which is solid. Alright, Scrag is in the fight. Rune of Doom is popped to give Dwarf Warriors here a bit of extra melee. Doesn't hit the Miners, however. Gorgers and Scrag should be able to beat up Thoric if they're in isolation, but isolation is not the place we find ourselves in. As the Boglars of the Mad Marshes might want to get down to that pool of water so they can heal up a little bit. Gorgers are taking some damage. They're at 8 out of 12 models as they run away from the Dragonback Slayers, and the other Gorgers are also going to opt out, getting a quick little heal from our friend Scrag the Slaughterer. Miners taking a lot of damage, so are the Dwarf Warriors, but the Hero Hammer of the Dwarves is largely untouched. And the Noblars and Ogre Bulls are all routing while the Dwarves stand firm. Gyrocopters are here. 5 volleys on one, 6 volleys on the other to kill Scrag. That'll probably be GG. As he uses Brain Goblin on the Miners' blasting charges to get rid of them, but yeah, these Gyrocopters are such a problem. The dinosaurs will have the infinite vigor stuff. Yeah, no, that's beyond dumb. I have no idea why they thought that was a good idea. Lore Master of Sotek is slowly ruining multiplayer, so thanks for that, buddy. Fucking... On tabletop, there's a hidden rule in an appendix that Lizardmen literally can't lose games, so CA should put that in the game. And CA's like, okay, Lore Master of Sotek, if you say so. That's dumb. That is some dumb shit. They should not have asked a Faction 1 trick who only plays campaign what his faction needs, because he just fucking threw the kitchen sink at it, and it's redonkulous. Alright. Cannons both did very, very well. Gyrocopters also did fantastically versus the Ogre Kingdoms. That is what makes one of these matchups so damn hard. Slayers also had a fine time, and other than that, the Miners just chilled. For Maydave, he tried, but his gold chevron lead belchers did not even come close to paying for their normal variant, much less for the extra chevrons. Gorgers didn't get a lot of value. I mean, one got close to paying for itself. What are they, 1,100 now? But he did throw multiple troll guts at it, and it still didn't quite pay for itself, so that's a little rough. Noblar trappers are okay, and that is GG. On to game 2 between these two. Gotrek on Bretonnia versus Maydave on the Lizards. Can someone get on the help Slanesh train? Are we talking about Lizardmen getting buffed to the moon while Slanesh gets put in the sewer? Yes. Yes, Desire Drive, we are. It's just terrible. It's just horrendous what happened to Slanesh. They lost so many of their sources of rampage. But don't worry, guys. We took their Tier 1 army ability, which is amazing, and put it as their Tier 3. And now their Tier 3 army ability, which was okay, I guess. That's their Tier 1 now, but it's not map-wide anymore. It's single target. It is so dumb, man. Slanesh got fucking gutted for literally no reason. Alright, what do we got here? For Bretonnia, Gotrek Starbreaker, we have 2 Grail Guardians? No, 1 Grail Guardian. Yes. Some Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm, Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis, a single Grail Guardian, Lewin Lanker in the sky, Henry Le Massif, a Damsel of Life with Regrowth and Dwellers Below, and then a bunch of Peasant Mobs, and 1 Blessed Field Trebuchet. On the other side, for the Lizardmen, we have a Bestowed on with a Solar Engine, Bestowed on Rev Crystal, Mazda Mundi with his Net and Heal, And then the Legion of Chakwa, 3 Temple Guard, one of which is Star Chamber Guardians, and then a Chameleon Skin and some Proximors. My heart still hurts. Alright, Lewin and the boys are in. Can Mazdamundi throw down a net? Probably an overcasted net, honestly, so Star Chamber Guardians are coming in. That would be huge. They'd get a lot of damage value. And then these Sacred Crossguards turn around. Yeah, net. Oh, he just used Apotheosis. Damn it, he might not have an overcast net. Ooh, it looks like he might. Does he? Is it? No, that's Sword of Corona. Never mind, my heart's broken. God forbid I want nice things. Because that would be a Knight of the Realm dead, and then Lewin and Enri would also take a lot of damage. Dwellers below on top of the Temple Guard Halberds. Meanwhile, the cohort of Hwaddle are falling back, running away over there. But Tony is trying their best. Sebastian, that would be a little insane, my friend. That would be a little insane. Alright. Court of Hwaddle and these other Temple Guard trying to deal with the Knights Errant. Grail Guardians are somewhere. Here they are, full HP, trying to join the fight now. I wonder if Mazda has saved his net for them, since they are the only Grail-type cavalry that were brought here. There's the net. It's going in. Hey, let's go! Net of Amratok, they're netted. Proxigors and the Temple Guard need orders onto them, but they're taking a lot of damage. And Mazda, when he does throw out a Ruination of Cities right now, that is risky, because if it goes back on the Temple Guard, it would do insane damage, but nope. It goes away. The Lizardmen are truly blessed by the old ones, and it is fine. Grail Guardians, while being netted, dazed, lowers their melee defense down to 48, and the Temple Guard are trying to get through them as much as they can. Now the net is worn off, and they immediately get orders to run far, far away from here. Legion of Chakwa fighting alongside the Bastildon Rev Crystal. Shield of Chakwa would be a little bit of missile resist. And the Solar Engine's just shooting what it can. It's blinding King Lewin, which is fine. Balance power is about 50-50 as the Star Chamber Guardians and the other Temple Guard continue to move up. Yeah, Hysterical Frenzy got really nerfed. They cut its duration in half, which, it's a buff, so cutting it in half is brutal. Scarbrand's duration also got cut in half for his self... The one where he self-rampages, but he gets 50% more damage? Yeah, they nerfed that. It's half as long now. Anyway. Bertoni's still trying to cycle charge around these guys as the Temple Guards, Saurus Warriors, and stuff all just move up slowly but surely towards the field trebuchets. Apotheosis and a Rev Crystal both healing up the Court of Hwaddle an awful lot during this moment. That was nice. That was nice. Solar Engine takes a good shot onto Enri, debuffing him as the Knights of the Realm and Enri team up on it, but there are a bunch of Temple Guard nearby that are currently getting flung around, but when they're done being flung around, they'll thwap you. They'll thwap you with those big sticks. Grail Guardians getting their regrowth. It is not overcast, but it is still a regrowth. And the Blessed Trebs are at last going to be shut down as the Croxors show up. They've pushed slowly across the map, but they got here, and they're fine. Knights Errant getting good charge on the Temple Guards. Get some decent impact damage, honestly. And where are the Grail Guardians? There they are. They're trying to help Lewin deal with Mazda. So right now, Bretonia's trying to take this game into their own hands. Nice blinded effect on the Grail Guardians. Really liking that little piece here. As Mazda's taking a lot of damage, this is probably an overcommitment from Maydave onto the Trebuchet. Like, sure, shut it down, but you don't need to send both your Croxors and a Temple Guard while Mazda's getting sniped out. That does seem like a bit much. As another Solar Engine shot comes in, but Mazdamundi's getting taken real low. Rev Crystal dives in, and he's routing. That could be a disaster for the Lizardmen, where they just overcommitted for the Treb and left him all alone. Solar Engine continuing to try and snipe out the Grail Guardians, just poking them a little bit. Poking, and now Lewin can walk Mazdamundi off. He can either dive him and try and kill him, or he can just literally hover above him and walk him off the map. Looks like he is going to go for the dive. Enri's flying around. Both the Bastildons are a little worse for wear. Lewin's trying to snipe out Lord Mazda. Another good hit. I think he needs one more solid hit to kill Mazda. Hey, there it is. One more hit. He killed him. Leadership is gone for the Lizardmen. Same as their healing and their net. I mean, they still have a Rev Crystal, I guess. Somewhere. Sick of my main faction getting nerfed over and over. Yeah, it feels pretty good. I am pissed that all the S tier factions either got buffs or stayed, like, just fine. No healing nerfs, no nerfs to any of the S tier factions. It was fucking brutal. Like, Mother Ostankia got nerfed, but then Kislev got a ton of buffs on the side of it. Their cavalry got big buffs. The leadership debuff on the Glorious Charge is actually kind of brutal. I'm going to times 2 fast forward through this right now, because we're just going to be treated to cycle charging and healing. Alright, Lewin and Henry are diving in a little bit. Bretonnians cycle charging in and out. Knights Errant routing. Grail Guardians doing their best. Legion of Chakwa gets side charged, takes some serious damage, and Mazda and lads try and get through. Solar Engine is firing every so often, and a big charge onto the Solar Engine almost routs it, while some Temple Guard are terror routed and killed off in the distance. Lewin and the boys diving back into the Dino Blob. Solar Engine taking a lot of damage, but not going to rout just yet. The Croxors are chilling, fighting against Alberic. Not Alberic, I always say that with him. Henry Lamassif and Lewin. Huge Dwellers below. Takes out the Pistol and Rev Crystal and the Temple Guard. Grail Guardians trying to hold on for now. They shatter off some Temple Guard. Damsel is fine over there. Lewin is continuing to chase these guys down. More stuff is shattering off. And Lewin's getting rid of that Solar Engine. The Rev Crystal also appears to be gone. Still the Court of Waddle. Still the Legion of Chakwa. Still have Star Pyramid Guardians. Still have Sacred Croxors. Single entities charge back in. Sword of Corona is down. Big debuffs for everybody. And the Grail Guardians charging one more time, but they will rout. Damsel of Life is also going to rout. Bounce power is heavily Bretonnian favored. But can they hold on as the Grail Guardians charge back in? The Star Chamber Guardians are here, and they're brutal, man. Especially if Lewin can't cycle charge, if he's just like stuck fighting them. Court of Waddle going to get isolated a little bit. Star Chamber Guardians are healed to bail them out. And the Halberds are slowly whittling down these Bretonnian monster men. Bounce power gets into Army Loss's territory as the Grail Guardians run down those other Croc scores. But the Star Chamber Guardians are working through these guys. Lewin's heal cap is in sight. Enri's is very close. And the Legion of Chakwa are going to rout any second now. Same with the Cohort of Waddle. Damsel of Life has routed. Enri has routed. And that might keep the bounce power from Army Losses. But it's getting so close. The Legion of Chakwa are going to terror out. The bounce power creeps further away from the Lizard Men. Yeah. Court of Waddle get chased off. Bounce power is very, very good for Bretonnia. As their damsel does not look like she's going to rally, but we'll see. We'll see. Legion of Chakwa trying to get charged out before they get back to the Star Chamber Guardians. Big shot onto them, and they rout naturally, leaving us just with the Star Chamber Guardians. Mother owned the Mutalith needed nerfs. Yeah, there was some stuff that got nerfs, but just like a lot of stuff that didn't. And the thing that bothers me is not the nerfs, but it's the buffs. And this, okay, the Slaanesh nerfs were stupid, but like there were buffs that were not needed at all. Grail Guardians are dead. Star Chamber Guardians holding for now. Bounce power is still really bad, but they're chopping down Henry Lamassif. Can they kill him? Standard Ground giving him some pretty good melee defense. He's down to 300 HP, 275, and he is running away. Court of Waddle are back yet again. The Legion of Chakwa should be able to come back, but a shatter for the Court of Waddle as Henry chases them down. I honestly wouldn't hate for Henry to just deal with the Legion of Chakwa and run them off, because I worry he's just going to die in here. Charm Shield gives him some damage resistance, but he piles himself straight into the arms of the Temple Guard. Balance of power is still critically low for them, as they are the last thing standing against Lewin. Lewin's down to 3,000 HP and falling. Does use Foe Seeker, but he's the last thing on the map, so he can't get back into the sky and fly away. He has to stay here and fight. And the Star Chamber Guardians are bringing the balance of power back. They're chopping him down. They're ahead of him on HP now. Grand Cathay got some solid nerfs. We'll have to see how bad. Like, if the Chromen are still really, really good, then I think Cathay got some buffs, actually. Because Yambo got buffs. By the way, Lewin's just getting eaten alive by the Star Chamber Guardians. That's what you're witnessing here. Yambo got buffs. Cathay got new units, which is always a buff, because, like, you know, it's not like adding a unit to your roster makes your roster worse, right? Their War Drums got buffs. And then it's all about the Crowmen, because if the Crowmen getting Yin, so they can provide you harmony abroad, is better, and the physical resistance is better, to override the fact that they're now demonic. Because I think the fact that they're demonic, whatever, they're an elemental, but like you get my point. The fact that they're demonic is a nerf, but it's like, does the physical resistance and the Yin harmony make them overall better? Or is it overall the same? Because if it's overall the same, then I think Grand Cathay actually got a buff. But we'll see. $3,800 for Lewin. He did his damnedest. $2,200 for Henry Le Massif. $2,000 for the Grail Guardians. Field Trebuchet got about 1,100-ish. Yeah, 1,100-ish. Knights Errant really struggled. Knights of the Realm really struggled. GG. On the other side, for Mayday, Mazda Mundi didn't do too much besides like net and heal, but not a lot of damage value. Croc Scores did great. Solar Engine did pretty well. Rev Crystal seemed like it did fine. 4,900 damage value for the Star Chamber Guardians. 1,500 and 1,300 for the other two. Legion of Choclaw got 1,800. The Chameleon Skinks died right away. You really hope for some buffs for Skaven? Dude, the only buffs I want for Skaven... Okay, I want some of their lords to be more viable. Besides just Grayseer and Icket. But aside from that, the buff Skaven need is nerfs to everybody else's healing, because healing is fucking redonkulous. And Skaven hate it. Game 3 here. So Gotrek won on Dwarves versus Ogre Kingdoms, and then he lost on Bretonnia versus Lizardmen. Game 3 is the El Clasico this patch. That's Raponce, but okay. It's Kislev versus Bretonnia. Kislev taking all the hits, baby. All the hits. Mother Ostankia.
We warned you that daughters
Yeah.
are
So
not-
Mother Ostankia, she only took Curse of Honor here, which is a little weird, but sure. Then we have the Warbear ROR, the Patriarch with both of his heals, Mordheim Beowulfs, and the Incarnate Elemental Beasts. Then we have some Kossars with Spears, some Horse Archers, some Kossovite Dervishes, and the Yakshina Ambusher ROR. On the other side, for Bretonnia, we have one of each of the problematic knights. Grail Knight, Grail Guardian, and then the Hippogriff Knights. We have Raponce de Lyonesse for some reason. And then a bunch of peasants, some Foot Squires, a Grail Relique, and a Damsel of Life with Regrowth and Earthblood. Did they nerf... What did they nerf for Ostankia again? I think they increased her cost, and they took like 2,000 HP off of her. Took some ammunition, too. Oh, and she lost her ward save, yeah. It's almost like anybody with a brain could have told them that her design was really bad. Alright. Hippogriff Knights are slaughtering the Kislev backline along with the Grail Knights and Grail Relief. Did Raponce bring her buff? Yes. Everyone around her gets plus 10 melee defense and plus 8 melee attack. Nice. Damsel of Life needs to get away from Mother Ostankia. Both sides are sacrificing their backline, and Bretonnia should be more fine with that than Kislev is. So just get your Life Caster over here with Raponce and the lads. But, like, you guys are eating up Kislev, which is perfect. Grail Knights and Hippogriffs, killing off some Dervishes, killing off some Kossar Spears. These Grail Guardians are going to zone off the Horse Archers for now. And the Grail... The Grail, yes. The Damsel of Life. I was almost saying the Grail of Life. Damsel of Life has made it to safety. She is just fine. As the Kislevite charge has come in, Warbear Riders and the Incarnate Elemental Beast Patriarch, all of them just piling in here, trying to drain down these guys. Mother Ostankia rolls through the backfield. But Kislev has lost much of their own. Kossovite Dervishes gonna run down these poor little peasant bowmen, take them out of the field, get rid of any poison they can provide in the late games. That's quite good. This is quite good. The Grail Guardians are here to party. Incarnate Elemental Beast is going to drain them down a little bit. Then he turns and uses his anti-large to maybe kill off a couple of those guys. Curse of Honor here is down from Mother Ostankia. Going to nerf their stats even further. So they're down to 1834. Not ideal. But what else is not ideal is these Warbear Riders getting slammed right now. They kind of got spread out throughout the front line. You can see some of their models are in here. So now they're surrounded by Spearmen, getting charged by Grail Knights, all this stuff, and they're very far away from Mother Ostankia and her buffs. Like, these guys over here are far away, is what I'm trying to say. So Bretonnia's getting a really good pick off here onto Kislev. Mordheim Beowulf's also down to about half HP. The Incarnate and the 2 heroes are just fine. They're doing just fine, but the rest of the Kislev build is taking a lot of damage, so I think Bretonia's pretty happy with this so far. Grail Guardians in here. They need Rapunzel nearby to provide that buff. Why aren't they getting the buff? She's right there. She's right next to them. Yeah, the Grail Guardians aren't getting their buff. They're getting ITP and +5 melee attack from the Icon of Devotion, but they're not getting Rapunzel's buff. God damn it. Just let me see Rapunzel. I don't care about anything else. Stop it. Stop it. Alright, she has to be in melee, which she wasn't before. So now the Grail Guardians are getting that buff. Now they're at 55, 68 for melee stats. That's really, really good. They do need a regrowth, though. They're extremely low. They are not having a good time. The Warbear Riders are routing off. The Incarnate Elemental Beast has been slapped down. The Mordheim Beowulfs are also routing. On the side of Bretonia, I don't know how the balance of power isn't even better for Bretonia. We have a full health Grail Knight running around, a mostly alive Hippogriff Knight, and then a Grail Guardian that's wounded, sure, but Rapunzel is full HP too. The Incarnate's dead. What the fuck is this balance of power on? Yeah. Alright. I was checking back on you guys, but you're doing fine. Balance of power is on drugs. Bretonia has this for sure. They are in such an advantage right now. Hippogriffs and Rapunzel are trying to snipe out the Patriarch while also staying on top of Foot Squires. We're getting a ton of buffs from the Grail Leak and from Rapunzel, though now the Rapunzel buff is worn off because she's not in melee anymore. I thought Zongors were good already. They're getting, like, worked around in a different way. They're not necessarily getting buffed or nerfed. Like, they got more melee defense, less melee attack. And then they lost some armor, but they got something else. They're just, like, meant to be, like, tankier, I guess. I don't know. Both Brothers of Tor, a little lightning strike onto the Foot Squires, getting some decent damage, but also debuffing them a bit. Rapunzel, Mother of Stanky getting out of there. Hippo Knights flying in to try and help take out Mother of Stanky. We still have a healthy Grail Knight off in the distance. We still have a Grail Guardian that can get tons of healing. And where is the damsel? Wait, where is the damsel? Did she fucking die while I wasn't looking? That's why the balance of power is so bad. The damsel's dead. Okay, don't know how that happened. I still think Bretonia has this 100%. Like, Kislev just has nothing left, but sure, if they don't have a damsel, fine, balance of power, you can do whatever you want. Anyway, Hippogriff Knight's gonna eat up some Kosovo Dervishes for dinner. Rapunzel's helping them out with that a little bit. 56-48 for melee stats because of her buffs. The Wolf Hearts, Auction Ambushers, are still full HP and a lot of ammo. I guess that's also probably helping the balance of power. The Oath Bros of Tor routed off again. Grail Guardians are here to help out. The Mother of Stanky comes in with a steel chair and does a lot of damage to the Grail Knights with her weird little artillery shot thing. Hippogriff Knights need to rear charge the Wolf Hearts and just take them out. End this silliness. Hey. Hey, get over here. Where are you going? What's over there that's so important? Kill the only unit that matters left on the map. There they go. They're joining in, rear charging the Wolf Hearts, and even though they're getting Silver's Lullaby, they should be killed. Grail Guardians rejoining the fight as Grail Knights route away. I'm surprised Grail Knights routed with a Grail Relief nearby. It's kind of not their thing. Curse of Honor here coming down from Mother Ostankia, trying to nerf all the stats, but pretty sure Rapunzel can do okay. She is taking a lot more damage than I would have expected from standing in random-ass archers, but I guess they're actually ambushers. They're kind of weird hybrid archers. 41-41 for melee stats, I suppose. Hippogriff Knights, Grail Knights chewing through the Wolf Hearts. Yeah. Pack Trap does net Rapunzel in place. She's already surrounded by horse archers, and now Mother Ostankia goes flying into her. There we go. The Wolf Hearts are routing. Bretonia's finally taking the lead on bounce power. I thought they would have had a long time ago. And the Grail Guardians plus the Hippogriff Knights come over here. With the Grail Relic, it's going to be very hard to rout off any of these Grail units. It's still apparently pretty easy to get rid of Rapunzel. Okay. Rapunzel is routing off, but Mother Ostankia terror routes. If her Byra Blood passive pops right now while she's terror routing, she will infinitely terror out until that wears off, but thankfully for her, she gets her shit together before that Byra Blood goes off. Rapunzel's out of here. Maybe if Mother Ostankia has Flocks of Doom. Oh, she doesn't. She has Curse of Honor here. Yeah, never mind. She can't deal with this. Even a stat debuff, I mean, these Royal Hippogriff Knights are going to kill you. You ever fix Kairos' hitbox? Don't start that whole argument, but like, no, Kairos can still path his way out of pretty much any surround without taking too much damage. If you're giving him movement orders, he can pretty much escape from anything. Now, whether it's his hitbox or whether it's his insane mass and small model, whatever, the effect of it is that he can get out of any surround without any consequence. Like, he's totally fine. Grail Guardians, Grail Knights, and Hippogriff Knights trying to follow around Mother Ostankya. I'm going to fast forward at this point. There goes the infinitely terror-routing Horse Archers. Mother Ostankya's kiting away from Rapunzel. The Patriarch has died. Army losses hits. GG. Alright, for Gotrek, Mother Ostankya 2,100 value. Incarnate Elemental of Beast, 1,700. 1,700 for the pack Troop Masters Mans. That's about it. For Maydave, Rapunzel actually got 1,700 value, which is not bad at all. Grail Knights, Grail Guardians, and the Hippogriff Knights getting 7,000 value, 8,000 value between them, which is a lot. And then the rest of the build, the Foot Squires did pretty well. Everything else got trucked on. But 8,000 value between the Grail units is plenty. It's plenty. Good lord. So that is that for our boy Gotrek. Boom. Mayday advances to the semifinals. Next we have Phoenix King and Umais. Both started off in this round, so we've not seen them yet this game. Umai is on the Chaos Dwarves with his patented triple bowl strategy versus the Phoenix King's Cathay and some Crane Gunners. I haven't seen Crane Gunners in a long time. They'll do well against these Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Give them that. I don't know about the triple bowl. I don't know what here deals with the triple bowl. Maybe the Righteous Lance's Vision? Okie dokie. For the Chaos Dwarves of Umais, we have some Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits, Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Then we have a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire with Flamestorm and Fireball on his Bale Taurus mount. We have another Bale Taurus, and we have a Great Taurus. On the other side, for Grand Cathay, we have Peasant Horseman, Peasant Long Spears across the front line, Jade Warriors secondary, triple Crane Gunner, Miao Ying on the ground with just Regrowth, and then the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, 2 Onyx Crowmen, and some Peasant Horsemen. As the side set up, I do need to fast forward a little bit. Fireball whiffs. Crane Gunners are getting some shots off. Still going to ×2 speed because this is a big map. These guys are very far apart. We are on a limited time budget here as the Crane Gunners delete some Chaos Dwarf Warriors for us. Triple Crane Gunners shooting at these guys, to be fair, but still really good damage. Chaos Dwarf suffering a lot of damage. The Triple Bulls are being patient, waiting for their front line to get here so they don't dive in all willy-nilly. The Righteous Lances try and dive down to punish these guys on the advance and maybe even get some of them to rout as the Crane Gunners continue to damage them. Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits trying to get around. Gorda's Backstab is also out here fighting some Peasant Horsemen. Missed him a little bit. He's sneaky. Sneakier than I would think. And here come all of the Crane Gunners trying to shoot at the big cows. But the Bale Taurus lands on one, a Flamestorm onto the other, and it's not doing as much damage as I would suspect, but the follow-up dive in from the Great Taurus will be fine. That'll do the trick. The Sorcerer Prophet also is trying to fight Miao Ying right now. Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits and other Goblin Laborers are in. Those Peasant Horsemen are in a little bit over their heads. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin land in onto this Great Taurus as the Giant Fire Tornado continues to persist next to them. But it'll fade away now, and Miao Ying's going to turn into a human form, I think to cast a Regrowth somewhere, though that will also heal up the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire, so it's kind of a win-win. Damn, those Righteous Lances got rolled, though. They did not have a good time. Gorduz is still fighting some peasant horsemen in the distance. Balance power is a little Chaos Dwarf favored, as the KFA front line is running back here to try and help out after all the Chaos Dwarf warriors have been pushed off by the Crane Gunners earlier. Onyx Scrollman trying to help out. The Chaos Dwarves are rather tanky. And there's the first of many breath attacks on these peasant long spears. Though I'm a little concerned about the Sorcerer Prophet being literally surrounded by peasant long spears. He's going to take a lot more damage than he bargained for, so he needs to get out of here, and he is. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin get to fight the Bulls in the sky, which is a little better for them. They're better at surrounding stuff when they're up in the air like that. They'll still lose, though. These Bale Tauruses, we saw him fight Ripperdactyls with them earlier. They seem to just do really well versus multi-entity models. Sorcerer Prophet of Fire taking some damage from Crane Gunners, who have rallied and are doing their best. And as long as Meow Ying doesn't cast another regrowth, he does not get any extra healing. But if Meow Ying doesn't cast a regrowth, then a Righteous Lances stay quite messed up. So we'll see what she ends up doing with that. Crane Gunners still trying to do a little bit of damage. Peasant Horsemen trying to peel for them. But the Bale Tauruses are on the case, diving down onto these Crane Gunners again, using their impressive weapon strength to take them out. Gorduz has joined the fight. He's here. He's helping. Cathay's having a rough time dealing with all this. Now, one thing that's going well for them is the front line. The front line fight went great. They dealt with all the Chaos Dwarf warriors. They're chilling. They're even up on balance of power. But the backfield is a disaster. All of their Crane Gunners are having issues really participating. And they're about to lose their Righteous Lances with Jin, which are their AP cavalry that can kind of deal with the Bale Tauruses. They've gotten some good pokes on his Sorcerer Prophet of Fire, but unless, like... there he goes. He just got his heal off, so something must have been cast. It's another regrowth onto them. Okay, so he's getting his heal right now. Kitty Cat needs to go outside, so here you go. Watch the Bulls kill some things while I let him out. Go on, bud. What a good mensch. Slaanesh gets 16 single entities. Oh, I'm very worried about the Thrones of Decay. I am not ready for a Nurgle Dwarves Empire meta. That sounds really gross. I mean, Empire can be fun, but in the way that CA's been going, I really don't want them to buff Empire in the ways that they'll think will be fun and interactive for everyone. I made the joke in my admin chat that, like, we think people should be able to take naps in War Wagons, so War Wagons should all get the Perfect Vigor aura. Not even Perfect Vigor, the Vigor Regeneration aura. First of the Tauruses finally breaks. It's the Great Taurus, so the least of the three. The two Bale Tauruses are still alive, and they are the better quality mount option. Gorduz backstab is trying to chase off the Crane Gunners. Peasant Horsemen have rallied, but they can't fight Gorduz. No one can fight Gorduz. Will they ever lower the pain of demonic instability? It does not seem likely. It does not seem likely at all. Crane Gunners routed yet again. I'm honestly kind of surprised they haven't shattered, considering how many times I've watched Crane Gunners rout in this game, but sure. That is a Flame Storm target if I've ever seen one. Or a Breath Attack, though both the Breath Attackers are on the ground, so they can't use it right now. But I just want to see the Flame Storm right there. On top of 4 infantry units. Flame Storm, Flame Storm, Flame Storm. You want a new Gatling gun wagon with 360? Yeah. Flamestorm is here. I think it's a little off-center, and now they're running away. I would have liked to cast a little more to the left in the first place. They take a little bit of damage, but that was overall disappointing. Damn. Just an off-center cast. He has all 3 of his breath attacks on his Lord, too. Probably should use those while these guys are nice and clumped up. Bale Taurus rolling out. Gorduz is terror routing. Balance power is back to about 50-50. As the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin and the Onyx Croman are escorting this Great Taurus off the map, it looks like the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire wants something to do with this while they're near the edge of the map and he can route them off. Looks to be his play here. More wagons with grenade launchers? Yeah. Gorduz is sneaking away from Miao Ying. And the Bale Taurus is helping to route off some stuff. I kind of want to know what happens over here. So a breath attack. He breath attacked at a distance. Or no. It was just a fireball. Okay, he fireballed them, shattering the Righteous Lances and routing off the Onyx Croman. Nice. So they're all gone. Gorduz and the Bale Taurus rallying with some of the Chaos Dwarf remnants. Miao Ying is chilling with her peasants. And these 2 Crane Gunners still technically on the map, but they're getting chased off by Goblin Laborers. Okay. Hobgoblin Sneaky gets fighting Jade Warriors as Miao Ying comes over to offer a little bit of that daunting terror support against these Chaos Dwarves with her Jade Warriors, but without Harmony buffs, they're a lot less scary. 24-34 for stats and then 20-24. Though Peasant Longspear do have 17 bonus versus large, which would be nice for Clan Rats. Anybody? Clan Rats? Can Clan Rats get good spears? No, it's fine. Everything's fine. I mean, Clan Rat spears aren't even that bad, but since everybody in Game 3 is getting like a million fucking bonus versus large, so I'd like some. If we're taking free buffs, I'll take some free buffs. Ying's trying to deal with the Barrel Taurus before the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire rejoins the fight. And her regrowths need to be very targeted because just throwing them out for fun means you're also going to heal up the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. So it's like, do I regrowth some Peasant Long Spears? I don't know, maybe. Are you fine with him getting a bunch of health too? He still has all 3 of his breath attacks. I really want him to use a breath attack on this healthy Peasant Long Spear, just to make all of the Grand Cathay infantry so wounded that doesn't really matter anymore. Sorcerer Prophet showing up. He's trying to get ready. Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits are doing good work on those guys. He uses the breath attack on a Miao Ying while she's in the middle of a crazy animation in the serpent body, so it's not going to do any damage. Really just use it on the Peasant Long Spears, dude. All of Grand Cathay is routing, except for this Peasant Long Spear and Miao Ying. She gets up into the sky to try and chase down the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. She gets a nice attack, but misses entirely. At this point, Cathay is going to start getting run down. Except for Miao Ying, can ×2 speed, watch her fight a whole bunch of single entities. Routes off Gordas. Chasing around Bale Tauruses. And then it gets another breath attack for a little bit of poke. And then she dives through some Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and then she runs around after the Bale Tauruses, and then boop. Here we go. This one's actually having to deal with her, and she can get some good damage down, and then transform into human form and get an overcasted regrowth on herself. That could actually maybe win this game, as she is slapping this Bale Taurus right now. Big breath attack in from the other guy. Does a little bit of damage. She does need to transform into her human form and get that regrowth off, though. She desperately needs it right about now. I am also scared, though, when she turns into her human form, she won't have terror anymore, so she can get terror routed. And that is going to be a big problem. So I think now she's stuck. She's taking too much damage. So now she's stuck fighting this Sorcerer Prophet. And she needs to win this fight or lose the game. Because she needs to buy space away from him where she can land and regrowth. She ends up landing with him. Gets a big shot down. Okay, that could be it. That could be it. She's trying to cast a fireball at point blank range. She misses her next attack. She takes one in return. Bounce power shifting against Cathay. She needs a hit here. She takes a hit from him. Hits him back. And she needs him to route. But the fireball at point blank range might cause her to route. She routes him. But she can't transform yet. She needs him to get far enough away that he doesn't tear up. But then her leadership goes negative. And she routes in a disaster. Okay. If he goes away, if they don't army loss, if she goes away, she needs to transform into human form and immediately throw a regrowth down. And she shatters army losses hits. It's GG. If she had been able to get that regrowth off, she would have won. She definitely had the wins magic for it. The Tauruses mostly did fine. Not the regular Taurus. He didn't get much value at all. But Chaos Reformers were fine. Hobgoblin Mutant gets pretty good. Phoenix King Miao Ying got 3,000 value trying to carry. Not quite able. The Peasants did largely nothing as they spent most of the game just walking around after things. Righteous Lance Suasion did okay. Onyx Croman did pretty darn well. Green Gunners mixed overall. GG. Bye, Will. On to game 2 between Phoenix King and Yumais. It is Warriors of Chaos versus Wood Elves. Still 5 best of 3s left after this one. All right. For the Warriors of Chaos, we have some Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, Chaos Knights regular, and then Hell Striders with Hell Scourges and Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. They were deployed back in this corner to try and trap any Wood Elf flanking shenanigans. We have a Chaos Feral Manticore, Marauders, and Aspiring Champions for the front line. Azazel up in the sky with Pavane of Slanesh and Acquiescence. On the other side, for the Wood Elves, we have some Blade Riders, Hagbane Tips, 2 Sisters of the Thorn. Sisters of the Thorn. Eagle, Sisters of Twilight, and Eagle, Spellsinger of Life with Regrowth and Earthblood. And then Glade Riders, Wild Riders, Blade Singers, War Dancers. That is it. Mostly cavalry. We do have 2 infantry, one of which is a War Dancer. You are the true hero of Warhammer multiplayer human boy. Yes, yes. I really am. I am great. I am fantastic with no flaws. No self-doubts either. Just pure joy. No, those are very kind words and I appreciate it. Chaos Knights getting slowly sniped out by the Sisters of Twilight, leaving flaming horse hooves in their wake. Hardest working man in Warhammer multiplayer. I gotta get these tournaments done before we switch patch, and then people will ask me over and over again, wait, I thought this and this happened in the patch. It's like, no, this tournament happened before the patch, right? So, we gotta get it done before the patch to avoid confusion. Marauders get charged by Sisters of Thorn. Nice little free damage there. Since the Chaos Knights and stuff weren't in position, there's no range to punish you. Phoenix King just getting out a little bit of extra charges here and there. It's good stuff, good play. Well done. Chaos Knight's getting shot in the side by the Sisters of Twilight, and the kite continues. I am going to go at ×2 speed because it is late at night, and I am limited on time here. Azazel's trying to chase down the Sisters of Twilight, does get a little bit of a shot off, and he's going to go back towards his forces. And the kite continues from the Wood Elves. I don't really want to take a straight-up engagement just yet, but they might be forced to. The Hellstriders take a full-on charge with the Wild Riders. Hellstrider's not enjoying that fight, but there's the Pavane of Slaanesh that's going to try and rampage these guys in place. Where's the follow-up? What's the plan here? Looks like the Manticore and Azazel are going to be the follow-up, while the Pavane is still active. They have 7 seconds left of Rampage. Earthblood tries to heal these guys up, as the Hellstriders are going to fall apart, but Azazel and the Manticore will get some decent damage down. Blade Riders with Hagbane Tips kiting away from the Chaos Knights, who are starting to loop back around now. The Wild Rider's down to half HP. This is a good trade for the Warriors of Chaos. Losing a Hellstrider for a Wild Rider is great. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are taking the charge now. Wild Riders can't opt out of this. And the Blade Singers are gonna get some really good damage down. Blade Singers should murder aspiring champions, but the Chaos Knights should be able to beat the Wild Riders, and then they can cycle charge the Blade Singers to death, so it should not be a big deal at all. Chaos Knights taking a lot of damage from this kite. The Sundered Armor is lowering them down to 90, making it a little bit more feasible for these Blade Riders to get decent damage out. But it looks like the Wild Rider is gone. The Chaos Knights of Tzeentch still rolling through and pushing back these other Sisters of Thorn and Blade Riders. Blade Singers are singing. They're singing away. They're fighting their best. We'll see how much they can truly get done here before the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch come back with a vengeance. War Dancer's also fighting with some Glade Riders on their side. Glade Riders probably don't want to be involved in that fight. It's not something they can get too much done in. Hellstriders are back to eat a little bit more ammunition. That's about all they're good for here. Sisters of Thorn are going to take the charge of the Chaos Knights. Still tough to charge heavy cavalry like that. Even with your buffs, even with your health advantage, it's just brutal. Another Pavane of Slaanesh catches the Sisters of Thorn, rampaging them back into the full health Chaos Knights of Tzeentch and Azazel in the Manticore. And dangerously, the Spellsinger of Life lands in the middle of this. Sisters of Twilight trying to fire straight down. Looks like we have a little bit of an Earthblood coming out, but they might have to do something to save this Spellsinger. No, she could path her own way out, but the Sisters of the Thorn are going to die for their sins. Chaos Knights just dominated the Sisters of the Thorn. Considering their health when both sides entered the fight, the Chaos Knights are super happy with how that trade went. They even have some Marauder support. This fight is going heavily in the favor of Chaos. The Northern fight also is going in the favor of Chaos, as Blade Singers are pushed off and War Dancers are just trying to hold on. Blade Singers got some decent damage out, but they were too outnumbered, and there was a bunch of Chaos Knights that could charge them. Some Fortify heals coming in, probably a regrowth onto these Sisters of the Thorn. There it is, though Acquiescence is currently lowering their melee defense down to 9. Sisters of the Twilight still firing away. Spellsinger of Life will be able to get these Hellstriders off of the Glade Riders just in time to get away from the Marauders here. Chaos Knights are a problem. Curse of Honor here lowers their stats, doesn't matter. The stat that really matters with the Wood Elves in this specific setup is their armor. Without great Stag Knights or Zotes, as much as I hate Zotes, without Zotes to armor pierce through these Chaos Knights, it doesn't really matter what their melee stats are, because 120 armor is saving them from like everything the Wood Elves can do. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are an extra smart pick because of their magic damage. They get through a lot of the physical resistance on this roster. Sisters of Thorn have 40% physical resistance, and none of it matters versus these guys. Only the Manticore is not bypassing that physical resistance right now. More Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are coming out here to say hello. The Warriors of Chaos front line is chilling, chasing off some War Dancers as Blade Singers run up behind them. That doesn't really matter. The main fight here was the mobility game, and the Warriors of Chaos won it. Wow, look at Pavane being a good spell. I did like Pavane. I've been playing a good bit of Slaanesh recently, and I thought, man, this roster's bad, but it's fun, and now they made it worse. Hi, Wicked. Pavane's change is weird. It's like they removed Rampage and gave almost nothing in return. It's true. I think they got like a vigor reduction, I think. Yeah. Alright, I was right. Because Coop's the same vigor reduction, yeah. I think. Well, now you threw in the I think, so I think, and I don't know. Manticores and Azazel dueling in the sky to try and get some damage out here, get the Wood Elves closer and closer to army losses, and just end this thing. The Wood Elves do throw out some healing, and Azazel is not feeling too good about that damage. It looks like he doesn't want to get too overconfident this late in the game, because most of his bounce power is coming from his very healthy front line. Okay, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of bounce power is coming from the very healthy front line, which, if he throws away Azazel and loses these Chaos Knights, these infantry can be cycle charged to death. Like, that's a thing that can happen. Sisters of Twilight have some pretty solid armor piercing. On their missiles, I suppose. I guess their eagles don't have armor piercing. I always kind of thought that eagle talons and beaks would have armor piercing, but they don't. Not saying they should, it's just like, thematically, I kind of assumed. Alrighty. Azazel did just fine. Manticore about paid for itself. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch and the regular Chaos Knights did most of the work in this matchup. And then the front line, they won. I mean, they hung on. They did fine. But it was really the 3 Chaos Knights being played well around with Azazel buffing them out. That was really good. Phoenix King. Spellsinger of Life provided a lot of healing. Sisters of Twilight did some good damage. Bladesingers and War Dancers overall got rolled. And it was the Cavalry, even though they outnumbered Chaos, what was it, 8 to 4. It did not feel like a close cav fight at all. That was awful. They got shit stomped. And that is that replay. I'm going to scuttle off and grab a drink while the next game loads. So we are up to Pigman 202 and Nurgle's PA. This is a weird matchup, but okay. I mean, not the matchup's weird. The way they're playing it is weird, but we'll do it. All right, VRB.
Men of Cathay.
Alright, I miss anything?
We shall reduce these bones to a red mist.
Is that a double mammoth?
The better to water our
Is that a double mammoth, PA?
and trouble our families no more.
Why do we have double mammoth here? Okay. For Nurgle's PA, since I'm looking at him, we have the Cold Voider, Frostworm. I mean, Frost Dragon, CA. Because God forbid you think of a different fucking name than just Steel Norska's name. Anyway, a Frost Dragon. Marauder champions, Icehorn Marauders, regular Marauders, and more Marauder champions. So 3 Marauder champions, 2 Mammoths, 1 with a War Shrine, the other one is Wolfric the Wanderer, and then a Deathcaster with Fate of Being and Spirit Legion. On the other side, for Cathay, we have 2 Onyx Crowmen, Yenbo, the Jade Dragon, with the Emperor's Executioner, and then Blossom Wind and his Net. Cool. For the main thing, we have Felix for a bit of late-game healing, if needed, for Yenbo, though they have to be in melee combat next to each other. Bandits of the Silver Road has an Archer's RLR, an Iron Hail Gunner, 2 Cannons, and a bunch of Peasant Long Spears for the backline. 2 Jade Lancers as well. Chaos Frost Dragon, actually, yeah. It's not that, like, this shouldn't be a Frost Dragon, sure, but I'm just annoyed with, like, as a caster, having to relearn what units are because CA can't think... CA or Games Workshop, whoever you want to blame, can't think of new fucking names, like, you know, Glade Guard, Glade Riders, Eternal Guard, fucking Dwarf Rangers and High Elf Rangers being the same unit, right? Like, things like that. Anyway. Marauders getting charged by Jade Lancers. This is just really good play. If your opponent does not have mobility to punish your mobility, you can just get free charges and free damage value. Like, a Marauder just got deleted there for literally no repercussions. On the other side, though, shit's getting real really fast. Wulfric's Sea Fang already tore through these Jade Warriors, doing a lot of damage to them. And then there's a Fate of Buna on the Iron Hail Gunners, trying to secure the Mammoth's charge. Here comes the Mammoth, though. They definitely need more of a Jabber Scythe animation because their animations are rather pathetic. Terror Route does take out the Jade Warriors before they even collide, but there was no collision damage, so whatever. And now they're starting to deal with the Bandits of the Silver Road. Cold Voider is netted in place by Yambo and sniped out of the sky. Even the Fate of Buna couldn't deal with the Iron Hail Gunners because Fate of Buna gets to delete Skaven weapons teams, but not Grand Cathay weapons teams. Grand Cathay weapons teams are just fine. Mammoth is blowing through the front line. Going to cause some disruption in the back. The Bandits of Silver Road are running. So are the Iron Hail Gunners. The Mammoths are doing their job there. Eternal Riders and Wild Guard, yeah. What's Blossom Wind? It is a weird wind spell. Yambo goes flying through the air with Hunter of Champions procced on him, but Wulfric didn't get any damage for throwing him through the air like that. Now a Spirit Leech has started onto Yambo. He has not used his Executioner's ability yet, so Wulfric does have to be careful about how low he can actually get. Meanwhile, this War Shrine Mammoth is actually pushing off the Bandits of the Silver Road rather effectively, and it can walk all these guys to the edge of the map, while Marauder Champions try and fight Onyx Crowman and Jade Lancers. Norska without any dogs or Skinwolves is really risky. Try and walk things off. Hummus the Frostworm is from lore. The Kislev one was always a Frostworm. Norskin was never supposed to call that, apparently. It's still a fuck-up. It's still a fuck-up. It doesn't matter which one was wrong, but the fact that you're changing the goddamn name in Game 3 means something went wrong somewhere. Thank you for the $5, though, Hammond. PA does surrender. It felt a little early, balance of power-wise, but I get why he did. Frostworm was gone. Wulfric was getting close to the execution range, so then he was going to die. This Mammoth was in the backfield just chilling, and the enemy had a ton of mobility advantage. So the rest of the game was just going to be Yanbo and Felix fighting random shit while Jade Lancers and stuff cycle charged. It was going to be really brutal. Wulfric was getting deleted by the Peasant Longspears and stuff. The Mammoths combined got 1,000 value, which is pretty rough. The Frostworm got 6 before it got sniped out by the net and the Iron Hail Gunners and the cannons and stuff. Marauder Champions were having a hard time. They did fine versus Jade Warriors, but, you know, the lack of any mobility advantage at all was really hurting PA there. All right, so there's that. One game up for Pigman 202 to best. Second game, rather interesting Lizardman build. We are seeing a lot of Lizardman High Elf today between the two tournaments I've been casting, but it's been mostly RTK. That was it, because in the Storm Vermin tournament, there's a shit ton of RTK players. RTK bringing a lot of Triple Sisters of Avalorn builds. A lot. Glade Singers would also be a little trippy. Yeah. Okie dokie. So for Pigman 202 to best in his Lizardmen, we have double Horned ones and then a bunch of Feral Cold ones running at you. Cohort of Waddle with a Life Slan, Regrowth and Earthblood, then a bunch of Skink Skirmishers, and 4 Saurus Warriors. On the other side, for the High Elves, like I said, an RTK build we've been seeing all day, and actually I think it's won more than it's lost versus Lizardman. I want to say it's won every single game versus Lizardman, but maybe not every game. Anyway, 4 Lyran Reaver Archers. We do have a Mage of Life with just Earthblood. Then Triple Sister of Avalorn, 1 Archer, a front line of mixed Spearmen and Silvern Guard, and then some Illyrian Reavers with more spears in the back line. Basically, they tend to just tie up the Saurus front line and sit there forever, or the Skink front line. Whatever it is, the Spearmen never go anywhere, and then the Sisters of Avalorn just rain unholy hell upon you throughout the whole game, and it's really hard for Lizardmen to get into the backfield. That's the idea. Now, I haven't seen double horned one yet today, so maybe that's the enough of the cav advantage they would need to actually get into this backfield and do some good work. Illyrian Reaver archers trying to peel. Already we have one Feral Cold One rampaging into Illyrian Reavers while getting shot by various archers. The Court of Waddle also trying to join in the fight. They will take forever to get through the Silvern Guard, but they're going to start trying. The Sisters of Avalon really need to prioritize the horned ones because they don't have any cavalry defense that's worth a damn. Illyrian Reavers are going to get mulched by these guys. So the Court of Waddle aren't a problem. You have spears for that. The horned ones need to be stopped. As the Bound Banishment goes through some Sister of Avalon, does a bit of damage. And they are messing up the Court of Waddle. I can appreciate that. Shield of the Old Ones is here, and then the Life Salon will probably heal them soon. But the horned ones are right here, and they're quickly getting through your only defenses, and they're eyeing those Sisters of Avalon, you guys. Gotta refocus. Uh-oh. This might be the end of the RTK build as one of the Sisters of Avalon is attacked by the Horned Ones. Illyrian Reaver is already routing off. This one did successfully stop one Feral Cold One. The other Feral Cold One is still here, though, which means neither of them can peel back and really deal with these Horned Ones. Looks like they're trying to, but that might just be splitting themselves too thin, as the Feral Cold One should finish off this other Illyrian Reaver and then come back here anyway. Horned One's still streaking in, and the Sisters of Avalon, their hubris is costing them dearly. As now the Court of Waddle are still fighting with the Silvern Guard, and they're going to break through soon, but they're still half HP and they're fine. Meanwhile, you're not fine, as the Horned Ones are here. Illyrian Reaver is sacrificing themselves, again, to keep the archers online, but to what end? Now the Sisters of Avalon are starting to peel. And they're doing really good damage to the Horned Ones now. Is it too late, or can they still pull this back? We still have two Sisters of Avalon, very healthy. They're under duress, but they're healthy. I mean, they're here. The Illyrian Reavers are holding for now, so if they throw guard mode on and just keep shooting at these Horned Ones, they can peel those guys off the back line. But the Court of Waddle have gotten through the Silvern Guard at last with their Skinks and their Slon friend. They're moving forward, throwing out some healing for the Horned Ones. Feral Cold Ones are on the backfield, going to chase down Sisters of Avalon that have routed. This Feral Cold One is rampaging, chasing around the Illyrian Reaver archers. Yeah. This part of the plan is working just fine, though. The Spearman front line is holding very long, even against Saurus, you know. That's going fine. But this Cav overload on the backfield was not a part of the great plan. Horned One's already getting a regrowth and a shield with the old ones. They're taking a lot of damage for this, because there is a Silvern Guard in here poking at their flanks, and Sisters of Avalon also have pretty good stats, 3850 for themselves. So they're no slouches, but the Court of Waddle in here, they should overall do fine. And the Horned Ones actually taking a lot of damage from Silvern Guard. Damn. I don't know what the Hives can do, though, because their front line is starting to slowly fade, and a Banishment even comes out on top of these Spearmen that are right here. That might do friendly fire to the Lizardmen, but it arcs away from them, so lucky them. They take out an entire Spearman with that Banishment. And the Sisters of Avalon trying to rally on the far side, still have some archers firing in, too. Looks like the Horned Ones did survive their encounter, but man, they're injured. Did their job, though. Oh, that is doomed. That is doomed. The Hives have their Sisters of Avalon rallying once again, firing in. It looks like they're trying to snipe out the Slon, but Slon's, for some godforsaken reason, at 40% missile resist, so that feels pretty cool. He's not going to take too much damage from these guys. He would over time, but this time you don't have. Most stuff is routing. The Archmage have taken significant damage. Both sides throw out an Earthblood for their respective parties. And that is going to be GG. Lizardman dub. Pigman 202-20. As one Silvern Guard cannot stop the entire Lizardman army. $2,000 value and 1,500 value for the Horned Ones, roughly. Court of Waddle did okay, but the Slon himself got 1,500 value. Saurus, not a ton, but they did it. They killed some Spearmen. Berg Troll, how dare you? How dare you, sir? Sister of Avalon, overall fine value. Archers too. Illyrian Reaver archers did pretty fine. Illyrian Reavers did okay. Silvern Guard held for a while and got some good damage out on their own terms. And Spearmen did fine, but the healing of the Lizardmen was quite a lot, and the Horned Ones getting in the backline were rough. Alright, that is a 2-0. Piggest, manest, 202, the bestest. Alright, this... Oh yeah, you can see this semifinal. Mayday Venumize. Down to Babarat and Jack. Greenskins and Dark Elves. Dark Elves, baby, Dark Elves. Always Dark Elves. I'm gonna blow my nose while this loads.
I'll do it.
I'm back. Hello. Ignores my chat because I'm right. You're in the wrong because you're wearing a beanie. Oh, hello there. I don't know how I missed that chat. Thanks for the $2, Hammond. Also, yeah. I don't know how I didn't see that. Oh, I wonder if it's the stupid top chat thing. Live chat. There. Let's go to live chat so I don't miss those anymore. Okay. Greenskin's already in the thick of the fight because I had to blow my nose, but it looks like we have a Squig Herd, Stone Troll, a bunch of Orc Borbiggins, and then some Archers build. We do have a Night Goblin War Boss in here from Bavarat with his Fermented Fungi, Spider to Bad Moon, Tormentor Sword, and then we have a Giant River Troll with Faded Beat and Spirit Leech. On the side of the Dark Elves, we do have a Crows of Cain, a Dark Elf Soul Stealer Dragoncaster, everybody. Holy shit, hold on to your nuts, because it's new, different stuff here, guys. Bleak Swords and Dread Spears, a bunch of Dark Shards, and 2 Blackguard of Naggarond in a box formation, though the front line of that box has already kind of gotten busted to pieces. We'll see what the Blackguard can do in the late game as we start to move up, but the Greenskins are here. 2 of the Dark Shards are already shut down and routing. Dread Spears and Bleak Swords already retreating. There's another Dread Spear in the front line tries to hold, but these guys are also close to leaving. Feral Manticore to provide some cheap terror, trying to help out. Boogalith. Broken Tusk Mob do not want to fight these Blackguard of Naggarond. They do start to fall back now as a Fate of Buna hits the Blackguard of Naggarond. The first Wa is out, and the Greenskins are rolling through this front line. Meanwhile, Orc Borbiggins are running back to deal with the Crows of Cain. Okay, good. It was just one. I thought both these Orc Borbiggins would come back, and I'm like, that's way too much for commitment, bro. And here's the important part. It's really easy to route some stuff with a big Greenskin charge, but you do need to have good micro and like actually chase things off the map. It looks like the Broken Tusk Mob are going to do that. The Dark Elves did not take very much mobility or any mobility at all, so the Greenskin should dominate that field, and anything that routes cannot be allowed to come back, or it is just flat out a mistake on the Greenskin's part. Like, if you allow stuff to rally when you have complete mobility control like this, you just fucked up. That's on you. Stone Troll starting to tear out away from the big dragon. Orc Borbiggins getting stuck in Blackguard of Naggarond. They do need to fall back here. They really don't want to be stuck in this kind of fight with the Blackguard. They're taking way too much damage for their trade. We need to get out of here. Orc Aura Boys chilling with Harpies on their back, but it looks like these broken, Orc Borbiggins are going to charge into them faux free and try and peel them off again. Soul Stealer will hit the entire Greenskin army on the front line. The Swamp Things are still chilling. Greenskins are allowing the Dark Elves to rally. I cannot say how much I disapprove of this. I am a disappointed dad. We do have some Boar Boys coming now. We'll see if they can finish the job that they started. Bavarat is in my clan, and he's on my team for the upcoming event, so I'm allowed to be disappointed. What's the best faction for smashing the front line? Greenskins doing good at it. Greenskins are pretty darn great at smashing through a front line, yeah. I think it's probably Greenskins. Orc Borbiggins running down these Dark Shards. There's other stuff that's slowly rallying. The Broken Tusk Mobs seem to somehow keep ending up back in this fight, which they don't want to be at all. They just need to run down stuff in the back line, please. Please just do that. We have archers firing at the Black Guard of Nagrond. Any magic from the River Troll Hag should be spent on either Fate of Buna or Spirit Leeches on the Black Guard for now. So you just want to stall. Big breath attack from Jack down the line, though, hits all the Orc Borborbiggans and these goblins. And somehow this little guy ended up all alone versus Blackguard and the Manticore. He needs to get out of there. He's trying to path out, but on his little swig, he has teeny tiny mass. He's on foot. Yeah, it's even harder, but he's starting to squeak away. Bounce power shift back in the favor of the Dark Elves. Fermented Fungi is thrown on some random-ass Dread Spears? Why? Oh, God. Okay, that's a mistake. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Things are falling apart here. Another Soul Stealer punishes all the greenskins as the big scary lady's chasing off the Swamp Things. Dread Spear's chilling. Blackguard taking a lot of damage, though there's still one at half HP. If there's another Fate of Buna for it, then that'll knock it out. But this is looking real rough. The second and final Waw is out for the greenskins. Broken Tusk Mob are trying to run down the Spring Sorcerer's Dark. They're not going to do very much damage to her at all. Like, Broken Tusk Mob in general are bad at surrounding dragons and doing good damage to them. They'll get a little bit of poke here, but she should be fine. Tormentor Sword is going to net her in place, though. And does he have his Fermented Fungi up, which would also be really good? I wonder. Really good snipe attempt here, having the River Troll Hag and the Night Goblin War Boss running over. Orc R's of both types are turning and shooting at her, so this is a big attempt, and we just saw our Soul Stealer go down, so it's probably still on cooldown. Manticore is going to fly over the fight to try and join her in this glorious combat. Meanwhile, more Dark Elves are rallying, coming back to the fight over here. I want to call everything the Broken Tusk Mob now. Manticore dives into the Broken Tusk Mob, the actual Broken Tusk Mob, but the other Orc Borborbiggans were rear charging some Dread Spears and getting rid of them. Orc Aura Boys are pin cushioning this poor Supreme Sorceress of Dark. Can she either get another Soul Stealer off or get out of here? This would be a devastating Soul Stealer, though. 4 very important units, and she's actually going to route, so she can't cast her Soul Stealer if she wanted to. All of a sudden, the Greenskins are doing it a little bit better on the balance of power. Another Fate of Buna is out onto the Black Guard of Nagaron. That is perfect. Great stuff there. As the Broken Tusk Mob are taking an awful lot of archer-friendly fire as they try and walk this lady off the map. Now the Manticore is stuck dealing with the Night Goblin War Boss and the River Troll Hag. He gets beat up and pushed away. Fermented Fungi is down on the Blackguard Nagrond, lowering their melee defense and rampaging them. That's whatever. As the Dark Elf caster rallies while being chased off by the Broken Tusk Mob, then gets her ass beat again, but she might get a Soul Stealer down to save her. And the fact that she can rally in the face of a unit that beats the shit out of her as soon as she rallies, I find insane. But okay. So she rallies, she Soul Stealers, and she pushes off the Broken Tusk Mob. That was horse shit. That was the stupidest thing I have ever seen. That was utter horse shit. Don't give me that. Oh, they were low and she was low and she has more balance of power, so it's fine. Nah, fuck that. She was super low and they had more HP than her. They should have been able to run her down. They were doing just fine. That was garbage. That was utter fucking garbage. Night Goblin War Boss and the River Troll Hag getting very low as the dragon's about to dive down and terror out them both off. They are going to all of a sudden lose this game on the most garbage fucking bullshit I have ever seen. What the fuck, dude? That's awful. River Troll Hag is gonna get torn to pieces now. The Greenskins get army lost. That was awful. Boar Boys are even more cringe than the Sorceress? Nah, dude. Nah, dude. That was malarkey. That was complete bullshit. I don't accept that. I don't accept that at all. I want him to redo it. I want him to replay that fucking game. That was garbage. Okay, well, I guess that's just how you lose a game then. I guess it's just how you lose a game. Alright, we got this matchup again. Bavarat coming back swinging. He must have been pissed after that if he picked Dwarves. Dwarves versus Ogre Kingdoms. It is very cursed. Ogre Kingdoms can have a very, 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 very hard time winning this matchup if the Dwarf player knows what they're doing. Jesus.
Consider it done.
Are the ROR boys ITP? Yeah. Alrighty. For the dwarves... No, the Aurora Boys are not our ITP. No. They have Encourage. Sorry. That's my bad. No. They do not have ITP. Anyway, 5 minutes of blasting charges, one of which is there for minors. We have 1 cannon, which we saw be very effective for Gotrek. Then we have Hans, Thane, and Thoric all on foot. And then Slayers, baby, Slayers. Giant Slayers and regular Slayers mixed throughout. Very small and simple build. We have the double Hunters on Stonehorns that we saw if they would wreck earlier. Some Nobbler Trappers, Iron Guts, and then Scrag the Slaughterer with his healing. All right, I think Butcherbird was in chat asking, wouldn't double Stonehorns just roll over dwarves? Let's find out. We do have the Rune of Slowness that Thoric could cast. Slayers have now surrounded the Hunter as he's trying to get out of here, taking big damage. Did not do very much damage on the charge, unfortunately for him. Hunter charges through the other miners, and more Slayers run up to him to say hello. Meanwhile, the cannon has killed half of an Iron Gut on the advance. And the Hunter's going to want to get out of here again. Yeah, he's trying to get out, but he's taking big chunks whenever he stays in the fight for even a little bit. I'm going to pivot the camera so we can see what the other Hunter's doing while we see this one take some damage as he starts to walk away. Sabertusk Pack's moving in. Ogre Bull's trying to get here, and already we have 1 Troll Guts cast on the Hunters, but the Blasting Charge is going to take out the Nobblars, which will leave the Ogres all alone to fight next to Thoric. Hunter is back in again, gets a pretty decent little charge on the Slayers. Good damage onto them, they're already down to half HP between the Ogre Bulls and the Hunter. But the Iron Guts already going to get pushed off, and the Giant Slayers should make very short work of the Iron Guts. Nobblars in mass exodus, 1 Iron Gut also fleeing, and the Slayers see those Stonehorns coming for the cannons, and they say, yes, they took the bait, good, chop them down. More Giant Slayers piling back here. Thane and Hans are coming over, and I wonder if Thoric is going to cast his slow anytime soon, if he's just not going to bother with it. I don't know. Iron Guts get shredded. We do have 2 Nobbler Trappers somewhere on the map. Oh, there's one way over there. It got Blasting Charge. Got it. All right. One of the Hunters is getting destroyed. He's going to get slowed by the Frostbite from Hans any second here as soon as he actually gets hit. There's the Frostbite, so he goes down to 56 speed. But he just got massacred. He's gone. He's dead as hell. Hunter stuck fighting Giant Slayers. Scrag is also in here, and I think this is going to be a very swift GG as Thoric's going to run up, but I don't see any hope. The Ogres are already in mass exodus 3 minutes into this game. ×2 speed to see if anything shocks me. Another heal for the Hunter. Scrag is strangely not taking a lot of damage. I would have thought he died, but Slayer's eating good on the Hunter. Rune of Slowness on the other Hunter to slow him down. And that is army losses, ladies and gentlemen. It's a cursed matchup, don't do it. Alright, sorry. There's something important I had to read quickly. Okay. Alrighty, Thoric did okay. The heroes really didn't have to do too much because it's the Giant Slayers that got all of the damage value. Slayers also did fine. Cannon paid for itself in that short of a game, and then the Miners got rid of all their support. It was really a team effort, and the Dwarves just slammed it down. The Hunters and their Stonehorns got 1,000 damage value apiece. All the Ogre Bulls struggled to get their value back, except for this one Iron Fist technically got its value, I think, because they're 650 and he got 642, so I'll count it. GG. Back to 1-1. Bavarat was not happy about losing that game 1. Slams down game 2 and move to game 3. And that is a Wild Vampire Coast build. Jack on the Vampire Coast versus Bavarat's Kislev. Alright. Bavarat on Kislev has Little Grom, who's getting buffs next patch for some reason, even though he's already really good. 4 Akshina Ambushers, a front line of 5 Armored Kossars, and then we have 3 Suicide Kossovite Dervishes and a Mordheim Beowulf, Mother Ostankia, a Flock of Doom. No healing for this Kislev roster. On the other side for Kislev, we have triple Mortar, RNS Assault Spite up on her Crab with her Net, and then her Kraken's Bane. We have a Foot Vampire Caster with Summon and Invocation Heck. 2 Crab Gunnery Mobs, one of which is Lamper's Revenge, then a bunch of Deck Guard Polearms. Sorry, Deckhands Polearms. It's not the Depth Guard. And then 4 Animated Hulks. Little Grom is deleting some Mortars and forcing the Vampire Coast to move up. Again, due to the interest of time, because it's already 9:30 and we aren't even in the semifinals, I do need to fast forward a little bit through this early stage. Now, Little Grom is dealing with the Mortars while the Mortars try and shoot the Armored Kossars. They're getting some decent damage down. But Little Grom's shooting at Crabs uncontested right now. We have lost about 1 Armored Kossar and a little bit of extra change. Mother Ostankia is trying to cycle charge. She does get netted in place and takes a lot of damage, a Flock of Doom, as she gets herself out of here. Little Grom still outdueling the Mortars, has taken 1 down to 2 out of 4 models. The other 2 Mortars are still reigning free. Mother Ostankia is using this time to just shoot at the zombies, cast Flocks of Doom, and she is generally happy with what's going on. I definitely would rather be Kislev in this situation, as one of the Mortars is going to start crumbling, so that'll take itself out. Mother Ostankia tries to get a little bit of extra value by charging in, but she gets dissuaded by shotguns. Little Grom moves on to shooting at the next Mortar. Now, he is using a lot of his ammunition on those Mortars, rather than Lamper's Revenge, so I'm sure the Vampire Coast players like, whatever, I guess my Mortars kill some stuff, but also waste all of Little Grom's ammunition. Maybe they're fine with that. Is Flock of Doom a strong spell? Flock of Doom's a very strong spell right now, yeah. Armored Kossar still just accepting their fate of being Mortar food. And yeah, looks like Little Grom switched on to Lamper's Revenge. I like this, because he does so much damage to that very elite unit that killing 1.5 more Mortars wasn't worth it. It looks like he's just going to accept that the Mortars are going to use all of their ammo, and he doesn't have to care. As the front line is getting Flock of Doom, Mother Ostankia is also running close to out of ammo, and now Kislev is advancing at last. Lamper's Revenge healing cap is in sight. And here we go. After 8 minutes of an artillery duel, we are here. Kossovite Dervishes charging Animated Hulks along with the Mordheim Beowulfs. The front line for the Vampire Coast is already almost dead. Their Animated Hulks are charging in alone at this point. Getting shot by pistols and Akshina Ambushers, though. It's a bad time. It's a bad time. Kossovite Dervishes kind of surprised they're blowing their load this early on Animated Hulks and Deckhands mobs. They're not trying to get in the backline at all and get those Mortars shut down. Though at this point, I wonder if they're like, listen, these Mortars are almost out of damage. They're almost out of ammo. So my Dervishes are strangely more worth it to just keep alive at this point. Where normally throwing yourself at a Mortar is worth it. When they're almost out of ammo, I guess you just take those. Little Grom is out of ammo. Got 2,200 value from himself, and now he's just kind of rolling around trying to be distraction as the pin cushioning begins. Vampire Coast getting shot from all sides as they try to advance. Aranessa takes the fight with Little Grom. The world collectively shrugged at that news. And the Mortar is still firing away. 6 volleys and 5 for them. Animated Hulks continue to just get beat up by these little crossbow boys. Crumbling away. Flock of Doom cast on Lamper's Revenge and Aranessa. There's a whole bunch of cavalry stops there. Now, this is definitely too many cavalry dedicated to the same fight when you could be harassing the backline or rear charging some other stuff, but it is what it is. Overall, Kislev's doing fine. The balance power is 50-50, but I would really rather be Kislev right now than Vampire Coast, as their gunnery mob is about to die. The Rotting Promethean's gunnery mob, that is. Lamper's Revenge is heal capped at half HP. You still have a lot of archers, you still have a lot of armored Kossars, and you're just chilling, man. You're just big chilling. Mother Ostankia is out of ammunition. Should still have Flock of Dooms left, and the Mordheim Beowulfs continue to fight it out. Mordheim Beowulfs were not able to get on Lamper's Revenge, but it's heal capped anyway at this point, so the Dark Blood Taint doesn't really matter that much. Another Flock of Doom is cast on Lamper's Revenge. That's probably not the best target for it. You would probably want to cast it on like those pole arms or something else. Flock of Doom doesn't do much damage to that kind of thing. But the just circle of fire coming in from Kislev is doing really good damage. Lamper's Revenge are going to go away. Mortars down to 3 volleys and 2 volleys apiece. Now, they have used literally all of their ammo on Kislevite, archers, and frontline. They got 1,000 damage value. Good. So they're at least, like, paying for themselves and some. Good. All right. If mortars still didn't pay for themselves after this situation, I would be just furious because there's been nothing they can do, man. All right. Deckhands mob with polearms is almost dead. Aranessa and her vampire caster have almost killed Little Grom. And another summon is out from the vampire caster. It looks like a little bit of overcast damage happened there as Akshin Ambushers move up. But yeah, literally just ignoring the mortars all game. Sure, the mortars got value, but there were more important things to do. Akshin Ambushers pouring damage into Aranessa's Salt Sprite. The pistol summon is dealt with. More and more Akshin Ambushers are around, and it looks like that is the end of the coast. Because there's not a whole lot they can do here. There goes Aranessa. There goes the leadership. The coast fall away. Death magic is even more meta now? Yes. It's always been meta, but now it's, like, essential. Little Grom, 2,200 value. Mother of Stanky, only 1,200 for herself. Akshin Ambushers did great. And Armored Kossars did pretty darn well. Kossar Dervishes did fine. For Jack, his build was strange. The game was kind of close, but then, like, the mortars did good damage at first, and then as stuff got more damage, they have troubles actually finishing the job, and then they just got archered to death. And Bavarat beats Jack after a very weird game one, but he did clutch it out in the end, so good for him, but damn, that was a weird path to get there. All right, we have 3 more best of 3s. Our semifinals are set. Maydave and Umais, and then Pigman and the Bavaret. All right, that's weird. It is 9:30. I'm hoping to be done with these best of 3s in an hour. So we will keep things moving. We are loading in as Maydave versus faces down Umais. Maydave starting off with the greenskins, Umais with his Precious Chaos Dwarves, though a little different build than his normal triple bull. Excuse me. I took you with me, correct? Yes, I did. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Alrighty, for the greenskins of Maydave, we have some basic Night Goblins, not the Spinning Wounds kind. Morgan's Mangy Marauders, Skarsnik, a Goblin Big Boss, and a River Troll Hag with just Fate of Buna, no Spirit Leech. Front line of Savage Orcs backed up by Squig Herds, some Savage Orc Arboys, and then a bunch of Savage Orc Boar Boys with more Night Goblins and nasty Skulkers. We also have the Hammer of Gork. These are just Savage Orc Boar Boys, not Biggins. The other side, for Umais, we do have Gorda's Backstabber, Sorcerer Prophet of Metal with Transmutation of Lead and Searing Doom. Then we have Bale Taurus, the Demon's Tongue Iron Demon ROR, 2 Bull Centaur Renders with their shields, and then some Goblin Laborers. 3 Bull Centaur Renders, 1 is the Great Weapons, and then some Goblin Laborers. This is a very elite Chaos Dwarf build, as those 3 Goblin Laborers are 3/4 of your model count, and they cost like 450 gold total. Breath attack plus a charge. The Sorcerer Prophet Metal tries to hit these Savage Orc Boar Boys. The Iron Demon is here to make sure that the Hammer of Gork fucks off. And that is fair. And the Greenskin Artillery is already pushed away from its mount. Whether or not it's still alive doesn't matter. It can't get to its mount, so who cares? Morgan's Major Marauders using armor-piercing missiles on the Demon's Tongue, but the Bull Centaur Renders are here piling into Savage Orcs. They're not the best at clearing out Savage Orcs, but it's okay, I guess. Savage Orc Boar Boys killed off, spite of the Bad Moon, giving them some bonus for large, but it's not enough to help them. Fermented Fungi does cause the Demon's Tongue to rampage as it gets shot in the back by these Morgan's Major Marauders. Bull Centaur Renders and the Bale Tauruses trying to help kill off even more Savage Orc Boar Boys, but the Bull Centaur Renders are not loving their fight versus these Savage Orcs and Squigs. If you consider that the Savage Orcs and Squigs together are 850 gold, or I think 900 gold maybe, they're doing more than their fair share against the Bull Centaur Renders. Greenskins take the free win on these Goblin Laborers as their flanking forces try to get over here in earnest. And the first of Fate of Bunas is out on the Bull Centaur Renders. That's fine. It's not going to be the worst thing in the world, but it's a good cast considering the options you have, and since you only brought Fate of Buna, that's fair. Bull Centaur Render taking big damage as archers are also shooting at it. These other Renders are falling back. For the Greenskins, we lost some Squigs. We lost 2 Savage Orc Boar Boys and we lost the Hammer of Gork. The Iron Demon is not feeling too good. That damage is meaningful. That's a lot of value, right? Greenskins picking off the Goblin Laborers wherever they can, just because, might as well. And archers continue to poke down the Iron Demon, forcing them back. Nice little breath attack for some damage on the Savage Orc Arr Boys. Chasing off the Night Goblins, terror routing the Savage Orc Boar Boys at almost full HP. Damn, dude. Damn. Can they chase that unit off? It's not even naturally routing, so actually it should come back, regardless of what they do. Gordo's Backstabber and the Bull Centaur Renders trying to rally on the far side and deal with these River Trolls and the Goblin Big Boss. I don't know if they're trying to attack the Goblin Big Boss or just walk past them. I really don't know what's going on over there. As the Savage Orc Boar Boys take a fight with the Iron Demon and then get charged by Bull Centaur Renders, they are getting murdered! That's so much damage! Okay, they're just gone. That's fine. Okay, they're just gone. That's fine. Bull Centaur Renders chilling on the Savage Orc Arr Boys. Doing good damage to them as other Bull Centaurs come charging in. Deal with those fools. Bounce power is about 50-50, maybe slightly Chaos Dwarf favored. And it's really hard to tell for me, because this Chaos Dwarf build is so weird that I look around and I'm like, the Chaos Dwarves don't have much left. But they didn't have much they didn't have much to start with, so like, percentage-wise, yeah, they're doing fine. Never looked like a lot. Searing Doom down onto all these Night Goblins and Nasty Skulkers, trying to get them low so they can get that terror out, though without the tank, with the burnt debuff, they aren't as easy to terror out, but apparently they're still pretty easy to terror out. Bull Centaur Renders stop and take the fight with the Goblin Big Boss. They should do okay here. They should. They don't really want to let these Savage Orcs catch up and then fight next to Scar Snake, where you can maybe ferment fungi them or buff up his guys with the Spite of the Bad Moon. So, yeah, he's not. They're not feeling too good about that. As the single entities of the Chaos Dwarves continue to rout off a lot of the Greenskins are trying to rally elsewhere, but they have taken a lot of damage so far. The Bull Centaurs do actually just opt out. They're fine. So out of the 3 Bull Centaur Renders that started the game, 2 of them are danger low on health. 1 is full health. And then for the single entities, the 2 Bale Tauruses are fine, but the Iron Demon is getting scary low on HP. Gordos is chilling, but who cares about Gordos? Gordos isn't real. Gordos can't hurt you. Bull Centaurs somehow end up in a fight with Skarsnik and the boys again, and they're just going to die for their efforts. Iron Demon down to 500 HP and falling. 300 now. As the Bale Tauruses continue to try and carry this out. One of the Bull Centaurs is pushed off the map. They're running away. They'll rally if they're not pursued. It doesn't look like the Greenskins have the tools to pursue them right now. The Iron Demon appears to have died, but the Savage Orc Boar Boys terror out yet again. Squig Herd will also be joining them soon. A Fate of Buna onto an almost dead Bull Centaur Render, but not the full health Bull Centaur Render? Guys? Guys, what are we doing here? What is this? That is a fucking mistake. That is a flat out mistake. There's no reason to do that versus that one. Alright. You killed that Bull Centaur Render, I guess. That was not worthwhile. Archers trying to shoot at the Bale Tauruses, but there's an overcasted Searing Doom on this whole area. Normally I'm against it, but when your opponent literally fills up the area, then an overcast can do a lot of damage like that. So that was probably worth it. And now he's lining up for a breath attack too on the guys. That is going to be really good crowd clearing if you add together both of those together. You know what it was. You know, okay? I had a verbal stroke. Y'all heard it. It's fine. River Troll took a lot of damage from that fire breath. Bull Centaurs running away here from the Savage Orcs as these other Bull Centaurs try and run down the Hammer of Gork. Is Buna more efficient than Spirit Leech on Renders? I don't think he thought he was going to be fighting a whole bunch of Bull Centaur Renders. Efficiency-wise, I think Spirit Leech is more efficient. But Fate of Buna's fine. It's definitely close. I wouldn't cast Fate of Buna on an almost dead Render like that. That was kind of fucked up. But Spirit Leech is probably better. It also looks like Beastmaster is agreeing it's not very good on a unit count, that number. Yeah, 16 is pretty low. But it's not like... When he has literally only Fate of Buna, the Bull Centaur Renders are a fine target, right? But, I bet he's kicking himself wishing he brought Spirit Leech. But this is a very strange Chaos Dwarf build. It's not like something... Oh, why didn't I just expect there'd be 3 Bull Centaur Renders and a bunch of single entities? Alright, I'm at ×2 speed as single entities try and chain route everything off. And like I said, time is a factor, and I can cast it at ×2 speed. Big Boss plus all these guys, a big rampage onto the onto the Firecaster, Metalcaster. Takes a lot of damage, tries to get back into the sky. He should have his Chalice healing if there is another Fate of Buna cast, though those are rare and hard to come by. I wonder if that's also why he only took Fate of Bunas. He just didn't want to give too many heals. Bull Centaurs do turn around and fight the River Troll Hag for a bit. She's trying to path out of here. And her last Fate of Buna should go on to that guy. But the single entities of the Chaos Dwarves are chasing off the Greenskins yet again. Beemaster, you and I are just on the same wavelength right now. There's a fermented fungi onto these guys, rampaging them into position. An overcasted Searing Doom onto the whole Greenskin army, pretty much. Doing a lot of damage to those Savage Orcs, which was pretty critical, because Skarsnik can buff them up and give them some pretty good stats. I'm wondering if they're avoiding the Fate of Buna because it doesn't do that much damage to Bull Centaur Renders, and they just don't want to bother giving this big Bale Taurus Lord the healing. I do wonder if that's the case. Spite of the Bad Moon was popped just as everybody terror routed. So all of them left while the buff was up. Technically, the River Troll Hag now has 16 bonus versus large, and Skarsnik is trying to hop back into the fight. Does get a charge in onto the Sorcerer Prophet of Metal. Their Transmutation of Lead is going down, and here come the Bull Centaur Renders. Everybody loses 24 melee attack. The River Troll Hag has literally 1, and she takes big shots and does go terror routing away. Night Goblins and Archers are trying to rejoin the fight, trying to offer a little bit. And she never did cast that Fate of Buna, which means that the Sorcerer Prophet is danger low. Taking big damage from Skarsnik, he's actually going to route off. Looks like the Bull Centaurs will follow him there. Can the Bale Taurus and Gordas carry the game? We'll have to see. Skarsnik might be hard to deal with, but Gordas could maybe do it. Morgoth's Major Marauders trying to chase down the Bull Centaur Renders, who in turn are chasing down the giant River Troll Hag, and the Bale Taurus is in turn chasing down Morgoth's Major Marauders. Skarsnik, his Night Goblins, Savage Orc Arboys are trying to follow along with this, but they're not nearly fast enough to keep up with what's going on in front of them. Bull Centaur Renders with great weapons poking away at these guys, but the Bale Taurus Lord is back. Good breath attack down the side of those Night Goblins. Really good damage value there for them. The Bull Centaurs still taking a little bit of poke damage from Morgrips as they chase off this River Troll Hag. They don't want her to come back, so they don't want to deal with that last Fate of Buna. Even if it might heal their Lord, it's not worth the damage it'll do to their Bull Centaurs on their way out. But does their leadership hold? They're down to 2 leadership right next to the edge of the map. Morgrubs are also quite low, but if you're at the Bull Centaur Renders here, they go straight off the map, and then you'll have wished she cast that Fate of Buna, because at least it would heal your Lord. Morgrum's taking the fight. They get Spite of the Bad Moon for that extra bonus versus large. It's not enough to get them over the line. Maybe it is -1, -11. They rout. And the Bull Centaur Renders hanging in firm. Gordas is chasing off some Savage Orcs as different Savage Orcs try and chase him. It's a bit of cat and mouse. So Savage Orc Arboys try and get some damage in onto these Bull Centaurs while they're right next to the edge of the map. It would be really cool to take them out. There's the -5, and they rout. They should go all the way off the map with that time allotted to them. Can Skarsnik kill a Bale Taurus? That's all we care about at the moment. Sorcerer Prophet Metal is coming back to the fray, maybe. I'm going to ×3 speed here, as it looks like he's going out to help Gordas with those Savage Orcs and pick them off, which makes sense, but also I'm on a timer. So nice breath attack plus a charge. Gets rid of those Savage Orcs. They are gone. Moving back towards Skarsnik. He has 2 Savage Orc Arboys for a little bit of support. And here we go. Charges in. Does this guy have any breath attacks left? He has none. He's moving up. I imagine either as a Transmutation of Lead or a Searing Doom would be the only reason he'd really want to come over here, despite the fact that he's going to get shot at. Gordas and the big Bale Taurus getting rid of these Savage Orc Arboys, but Skarsnik is chilling. Skarsnik is anti-large, armor piercing, and everything around him is large. He's beating up Gordas right now, actually really bad. Bale Taurus lands and immediately routes off the Night Goblins. All of Skarsnik's support is gone, but can any of these guys hit him? He is a 48-55 Halberd character. 30 bonus versus large, and a bunch of poison. He also gives himself 16 more bonus versus large as he just kills Gordas. Alright, Gordas going to run away before he dies. That is fair. Bale Taurus Lord is coming back for now. Gordas is cycle charging back in, and the Savage Orcs might rally and offer a little bit of support. We'll have to see. Yeah, the Greenskins are rallying. Can they help Skarsnik? Can he hold? Slippery wears off? No. Slippery's still going for Gordas, giving him increased melee defense. The Skarsnik's taking a lot of damage. He might just terror out here. If he does, then his army losses. He went down to 7 leadership for a brief moment. He's back up to 22, fighting back against these big Bale Tauruses. Getting some decent shots and staggering him. I don't know if he's actually hitting anything. Goes to -8, and that is going to be GG. Good game there from Maydave and Umais. Scarsnick did great. River Troll Hag did okay, but she was not ready for what they were dealing with. Morgan's Mage Marauder was a 1700 value. That was pretty great for them. They did awesome. Good job. Good job them. Basic Night Goblins got rolled over. Squigs and Savage Orcs did meh. For Umais, his Lord did amazing. His Bale Taurus also did fine. His RR Iron Demon helped route some stuff off the map. And then his Bull Centaurs overall really struggled on value, but they were around, right? GG. They should give Scarsnick immune to flanking because they got Gobbler watching his back. Nah, dude, they'd never give a unit immune to flanking. That would just be stupid. Game 2. XMT's Mayday versus Umais. Warriors of Chaos and Beastmen. Mayday on the Beastmen bringing a Doom Bull, a Traderkin caster, I imagine. Butchers of Kalkengard, 2 Giants, 2 Centaurs, 2 Razorgors, a Dog, 3 Archers, and 5 Ungor Spearmen. The side of Umais, that is a weird looking lord that I don't recognize offhand. But yes, the caster does have Traderkin and Devolve. For Umais and the Chaos lads. We have 4 Marauder Horsemen, 2 Dogs, 2 Chaos Knights, 1 is of Slanesh. Ooh, actually just 1 dog, whatever. Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Shadows with only Melkoths and then Smoke and Mirrors. And then he has a bunch of Chaos Warriors with Hell Scourges, Halberds, the Severed Claw, and then another Marauder Horseman. This one with Throwing Axes. Immune to Flanking, Expert Charge Defense, and Charge Reflect. Sounds like a Bastildon. Melkoths onto the Razorgore Herd to try and get it to Rampage, especially with Skirmish Cav hitting it at the same time. They're trying to draw it way out of formation and get it damaged. There's the Rampage effect and a free charge in from the Chaos Knights of Slanesh. That is a dead 650 gold Razorgore Herd. Maydave not loving that start. Good little pick-off, though, from the Forces of Chaos. Again, due to time restrictions, I will play the skirmish phase at ×2 speed as Centaurs get skirmished with a little bit. Chaos is setting up a good surround, and the Beastmen decided to just bum rush the infantry up on the hill instead of dealing with the skirmish that they're not really that prepared for. Another Melkoths is out onto these Razorgore herds, once again trying to rampage those guys as the Chaos Warriors move up to the front line. Looks like he wants to Melkoths them just because they rampage, but also I guess they have good armor piercing values. Maybe he's worried about his little Chaos Warrior front line. Chaos Knights of Slanesh dive in onto the Ungor Raiders, taking them out. The Razorgore herds are procced into a rampage, but they run straight forward into the Hell Scourges anyway, getting on a pretty solid target for themselves. Skirmish Cav still chilling around. Centaurs are coming back here to deal with this, but with a rear charge from Chaos Knights of Slanesh and a Manticore terror-causing caster diving straight onto, I think the Centaurs will be short-lived here. They'll probably get pushed off rather quickly. So the flank's going okay for the Chaos peoples. Frontline fight is in earnest. Now, the Chaos infantry should win, but with 2 giants smacking some fools around, who knows what'll really happen. Centaur is getting good damage onto the Marauder Horsemen. And all 4 of them are peeling back to deal with that Centaur, so... That Centaur should die, but we'll see what he can do on his way out. He looks like he's taking one of the Marauder Horsemen with him. Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, throwing at the Giants. Traderkin caster is chilling near these guys too, and a Doom Bull is out, but there's a Traderkin onto 2 Chaos Knights. Nice, nice. It's undercasted, but still, they'll get good damage out. Because the basic Chaos Knights have taken so much damage that they're going to have limited use for us the game. Like, Chaos Knights of Slanesh are still chilling. Severed Claw, full HP, but the Hell Scourges, Chaos Warriors are getting onto these archers who are starting to run away, but the whips are dragging them back, poisoning them a little bit, so the Chaos Warriors can maybe stay in range for a bit. And Centaurs shatter off one of those skirmish cav, while the other 2 chase it down, and the 3rd returns to the main fight. Centaur is getting chased off by the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Shadows. The Chaos Warriors continue their slow grind through the Beastmen lines. Halberds have joined the fight against the Butchers of Kalkengard and the Doom Bull. This should be a really good moment in time for the Warriors of Chaos. Slanesh Knight's going to back off, but as long as the Butchers of Kalkengard stay next to these Halberds, that's a big old win for the Forces of Chaos. Halberds also surrounding a Giant should be another great time. Centaur is getting to fight Marauder Horsemen in melee on the flank. They love that, doing their best to stay in melee with these guys, so they get some damage out before getting kited to oblivion. The Source Lord finished his job and is coming back to the main battle now. Dogs and Hell Scourges routing off some archers, going to go swoop up some Ungor Spearman herds too. Ungor Raiders firing away at these throwing axes while they still can. Beastmen are slightly up on the balance of power. I'm not sure if I agree. The battle's too chaotic to take a quick look and say, yes, that's true. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh are getting chased off with a Doom Bull, but it looks like it might have been a ruse, because now he's off on his own. I don't think he's too upset, though. He would love to fight Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. He's just chilling out here. Even the skirmishers aren't going to do that much to him, so he's largely happy with the situation. Something's happening here. It's a devolve. Minus leadership and melee attack for these halberds, taking them down to 6 melee attack as the Butchers of Calvin try and crush through them. And I think they're lowering their leadership to try and get that terror out proc, but the devolve were off without killing them. Traderkin down onto the Severed Claw plus 2 different Chaos Warriors. That's fine. The Severed Claw have a low enough model count that the Traderkin can actually do pretty good here, so that's okay. And the Giants are actually slapping some fools. Yeah. Even though the Severed Claw are halberd units, the Giants just have really high weapon strength and not great splash damage, but since your model count is so low, all of their damage is just hitting you right in the face. It's nice. It's nice stuff. Beastman pulling a little further ahead as the Butchers of Kalkengard are going in for a rear charge on these guys. Terror outs off the Severed Claw is going to terror out off these halberds too. And that is a big loss. Devolve getting their leadership even lower. I think they wanted to turn it from terror out into a natural route for sure, so that they could guarantee those guys would come back. For Umais, he still has some skirmish cav with a little bit of ammo left. He has some Chaos Knights of Slaanesh who have taken a beating in the distance. That's about it. But the enemy still has the Butchers, they still have a Doom Bull, they still have a Caster all at full HP, and then they have some Chaff and some Giants that could prove to be a real problem. Is the Manticore going to dive in? Oh, God, that's risky. No, he's not going to do it. I'm going to times 2 speed intermittently if we're just doing kiting stuff. Manticore Lord actually dives in onto the Brave Shaman of Wilds. Gets 2 good hits on him, then he retreats towards the Giants. So I imagine the Chaos Lord Shadow is going to want to get in the sky, but the Doom Bull's trying to go get him. Takes off just in front of him. That was spooky. Severed Claw will rally, since it doesn't look like the Beastmen have the wherewithal to chase those guys. They don't have any really mobility left. And the Doom Bull is stuck fighting some Chaos Knights, which again, he is happy to do. He's an armor-piercing monstrous character. He loves fighting big old knights. Loves it. Marauder Horsemen running away from the dogs. They might just want to take that fight and kill them off, but either way is fine. Ongor Spearmen going to get run down by Chaos Knights, and the Marauder Horsemen skirmish cav are moving away. Times 2 speed through some of the skirmish phase, because again, I do have to go at a set time, so we just gotta motor through this. Sorry to anybody who really wanted to see a skirmish phase at real time. Giants and Butchers of Kalkengard trying to get together. They are going to charge into the Marauder Hell Scourges, and they get devolved, lowering their melee attacks and leadership, trying to get rid of these guys. There's a Traitor King going out right now, too, as the Severed Claw take a lot of damage. And the Hell Scourges also taking damage. Marauder Horsemen running out of ammo, now having to dedicate themselves as melee cavalry. See how much they can do here, but it feels like the Beastmen are just going to grind this out. There's not a whole lot that the Warriors of Chaos can do. Their halberds are routing, everything's routing, and Chaos Knights of Slaanesh cannot kill a Giant and the Butchers of Kalkengard and a Doom Bull. That's just not going to happen. Melkoth takes out the last Spearman support. Halberds run in, but immediately run out. Another Traderkin down onto the Forces of Chaos. Butchers of Kalkengard taking some damage. Man, I mean, you got 2 Giants. You got 2 Giants. It's GG. GG, brother. For Maydave, his Giants chilled out. They were there. They were helping. Butchers of Kalkengard did amazing. Caster and Doom Bull also did fine. Ungor Raiders did okay. Umais made the Razor Gore herds just get wrecked, though. That was really good dealing with their rampages. Septicores also got pushed off for the most part. For Umais, his Melkoth's Caster did okay. His Chaos Knights didn't get a ton of value, but they were there for the battlefield control and stuff like that. The Chaos Warrior front line slowly got whittled away, and then his Skirmish Cav did their best. But it was not enough. GG. GG. And that takes us to game 3 between these two legends. XMT's Maydave versus Umais. Lizardmen High Elves yet again, though the Umais' build is very different than the RTK style of playing this, with 2 Dragon Princes, a Frostheart Phoenix, a Star Dragon, and a Caster, not a Lario, just a Caster. I imagine she'll have some form of healing, though I wonder if it's high magic or life magic, because I don't think you'll take a Frostheart Phoenix and a Star Dragon without any healing. Yeah, it's a life caster with regrowth and Earthblight. Oh, and she's on a Moon Dragon! It's double dragon. Interesting. We also have an Ithamar Chariot. On the other side, for the Lizardmen, Salon Mage, Priest of Life with Regrowth and Earthblood, Coldwind Riders, and Feral Coldwinds, Cohort of Waddle, a Feral Bastillodon, more regular Croxigors, 3 of them, and more Coldwind Riders. A front line of Skink Cohorts and Skink Cohorts with Javelins. Dragon Princes lining up a charge somewhere, trying to figure out where to go. I don't know if they want to take a fight with 2 Coldwind Cav. I mean, Feral Coldwind and Coldwind Cav, but we'll see. I guess the Dragons are nearby to offer a quick little breath attack. Dragon Prince is trying to get a rear charge, but it looks like they're going to opt out instead. And once again, just going to fast forward briefly through this little setup period. Nice breath attack from the Moon Dragon. Takes a little damage off the Skink Horse. Honestly, it looked better than it did. It didn't actually get that much value. As Dragon Princes eat up some Feral Coldwinds, and a Star Dragon lands on the Coldwind Riders trying to get damage on them. Meanwhile, the Skink Cohorts with their Javelins going to chuck at the Dragon Princes trying to get a little bit of damage here, but the High Elves seem pretty happy to take this fight. Spearmen going to get torn up by Skink Cohorts and Croxigors. That's okay. The High Elves are going to collectively shrug and move off. Frostart Phoenix is in, Ithamar Chariots are in, trying to surround this area and take out these Skinks and Croxigors as fast as possible, while Dragon Princes move to charge into Coldwind Riders, who are getting sandwiched between them and a Star Dragon. That is a bad time to be a Coldwind Rider. Dragon Princes plus the Dragons have dealt with 2 Skink, a Skink Cohort and a Feral Coldwind in the back line, and a Coldwind Rider is getting massacred before our very eyes. 1 Chameleon Skink, they're so sneaky I didn't even see them, as they're shooting away at the Dragon Princes here. Blood Statue Despite, plus that little poison damage gets these guys nice and low. They'll need healing from their Life Caster soon before they lose too many manas. Dragon Terror routes off a Skink Cohort, another Skink Cohort is routing off, but a Bound Banishment from the Salon has killed a Spearman as well, so both sides suffering some casualties there. I definitely think the High Elves are getting the better of this early game, though for the love of God, heal your Dragon Princes. Please. Earthblood on these chumps? Okay, it's from the Crocs. It's the Life Salon. Okay, I was like, dude, these Dragon Princes, you mice, please. They're over there. They're doing so good. Ithamar Chariots trying to stop the Skink Cohorts from doing anything good. Spearmen push off those Feral Cold ones, while Dragon Princes come over trying to get some help. Coldwind Riders ride downhill into the backs of these Spearmen. That should rout them once and for all. Croxigors getting Terror routed off. I don't know if there's anything nearby that can chase off the Croxigors that you really want to dedicate all that time to. It's still good damage. Dragon Princes on the backfield having to fight Feral Coldwinds and Coldwind Riders. Honestly, they could probably just take that fight and win it. But it's hard to tell what's a Coldwind Rider and what's a Feral Coldwind. So they might think that's a Coldwind Rider running straight at them, not a Feral Coldwind that can easily body. Ithamar Chariots and Dragon Princes end up on the high ground fight against these Croxigors and Coldwind Riders. They do have some Spoon support too. Frostart Phoenix and the Dragon landing on the Salon Mage Priest in the middle of the Cohort of Waddle. That seems overbold. I don't like that. I am scared. I am frightened. Dragon Princes eventually take the fight with the Feral Coldwinds. It's hard to tell if they chose it or if they got rear charge and just won the fight afterwards. But yeah, they're going to beat up those Feral Coldwinds pretty easily. So GG there. Star Dragon's coming over. I don't know what he's going to do about these Cohort of Waddle. Maybe he can get a really cheeky breath attack or something. But it looks like both Dragons are just going to try and dive the Salon in melee. His leadership tanks. He is really close to routing already, actually. The Frostart Phoenix is in here too. Coldwind Riders come running in to his aid. Can the 3 single entities of the High Elves snipe out the Salon and get out of here alive, or are they just going to get beat up by the Cohort of Waddle and these Coldwind Riders that are all over? The Salon has escaped, so already that option's out of the door. And Dragon Princes are trying to come back in. These other Dragon Princes are routing off. I don't know if they received any healing. We got to get some regrowth going. Wait, there was a regrowth going. Okay, it's on the Salon. I was like, the Archmage just regrowth herself and never regrowth the Dragon Princes? Ithamar Chariots taking a bunch of damage. They might rout off too. Dragons trying to fight their way through the Croxigors. Frostart Phoenix is probably in that debuff, lowering their melee attack down to 22, which is pretty pathetic. They don't have bonus versus large or anything. Star Dragon is chilling out, fighting back against Croxigors and such. And these Dragon Princes leading the Cohort of Waddle very far away on a wild goose chase. So as long as they keep running, they'll be okay. And the Dragons are beating up this other Croxigor all on their own. Croxigor is going to tear her up, take some big damage. So we still have 1 healthy Croxigor. We have another healthy Croxigor, the Sacred ROR. And then a full health Salon, some Skinks, and a Feral Bastillodon. On the High Elf side, Most shit's dead, but there are 3 single entities are chilling, and their Dragon Prince. 1 Dragon Prince is chilling. The other one died. And we really need to save some healing for those Dragon Princes as they go and take a fight against the Croxagores. Helping out their Spearmen, they should be able to rout the Croxagores in short order and then deal with the Feral Pulled ones too. So the Dragon Princes should win this fight. Meanwhile, with the single entities, the damage is starting to add up to this Archmage of Life. It's not loving that. Her Regrowth is cast onto herself. That's fine. It's appropriate at this situation. Spearman fighting back against the Colden Riders on the high ground. Ithilmar Chariot's still trying to provide a little bit of DPS against these skink cohorts or something. That's a lot of Croxagores. All 3 Croxagores are actually healthy again after all the healing they've received from the Salon. The Star Dragons, the caster actually is thinking about routing, which is a little insane. These guys need to find a way to get up in the air and start using their breath attacks again as the Dragon Princes come marching in. That'll be key. Chameleon Skinks are almost out of ammunition, so it's pretty whatever on that front, but just having some rear charging Dragon Princes would be quite nice. The single entities, the High Elves, continue to try and grind it out. Overcasted Earthblood on these fools. Big charge from the Dragon Princes on the Skinks, taking some of them out. The Croxagores are lumbering away from the main fight, bringing those hammers to come deal with the Dragon Princes, and they're going to kite away. Don't want any of that nonsense as the dragons continue to duel the Croxagores in the Sacred Lord of Qual. Okay, gonna ×2 speed this blob fight until something else happens. Again, time limit, yada yada, etc. Dragon Princes take a fight with the Cold One Riders. Big damage onto them from the Blood Statue despite plus that charge and the Croxagores, but they eventually get out of there. They got some decent damage, but they're going to tear route off. That is overall a loss for the High Elves. But the Croxagores in the main fight are routing off. Sacred Cohort of Waddle now taking big damage from the Double Dragons and the Phoenix. Double Dragons and the Phoenix still helping out. And the Dragon Princes are routed off the field at last, so it is now just the single entities of the High Elves left versus all of these guys. They're trying to heal up. They're trying to fight it out. No breath attacks for them, as they are going to back off. Leave the Frostheart Phoenix in combat, and now we're going to get double big breath attacks down. That is huge. And then a charge in should also cause a mass rout, leading to a very big High Elf lead at the moment. Court of Waddle hang on for now, but there they go. Now they're terror routing off. And the Life Salon joins back in. But Mayday throws in the towel and gives it to Imais and the High Elves. GG. Croc scores, not as much value as you would think. Life Salon did fine. Coldwind Riders did okay. Oof, the one Chameleon Skin got 1,500-ish value. And that is GG. For Imais and his Double Dragons, a lot of value on the Dragons, 2,100 and 2,700, respectively. And then some Spears did fine. Dragon Princes, mixed. So GG. That'll take Imais to the finals. We have 2 best of 3s left to cast, and I would have liked to have been done in about 25 minutes, so that's not great, but we'll see. Pigman 202 versus Babarat. Alright. Thanks, Kiyama. Glad you're doing well, buddy. Shout out is always welcome, friend. If I send you pre-patch replays, will you still check them out after the patch comes out? Maybe, but like that's a very hard maybe, because I'm probably gonna want to cover, for just like YouTube reasons, I'm gonna probably want to cover the new stuff, right? People are gonna want to see the new units and some replays and things like that post-patch. So it's like it's difficult to make content off that stuff because no one's gonna want it. Like, my content's already dipping a little bit in viewership because people are kind of sick of the current meta. And I know the new patch isn't going to really bring that much to the meta, but, like, it'll at least bring new units, and people want to see that, see the new rampages and stuff. Alright. Empire versus Dark Elves. The Dark Elves of Bavarat, the Empire of Pigman 202 best. He has Demi Defense with Halberds, Karl Franz, War Wagons, Empire, Outriders, Grenade Launchers, Lifecaster, Empire Knights, and Swordsmen. On the Dark Elves, it is a Man-Tide, Witch Elves, Blackheart Corsairs, Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, Crows of Cain, Manticore, Supreme Sorcerers of Dark with Soul Stealer, second Manticore, and then some Dark Riders. Mostly Man-Tide. War Wagons trying to snipe out the Supreme Sorcerers of Dark, or at least force her HP down quite a lot. Swordsmen get a nasty breath attack that will cause them to rout in the face of the Witch Elves, and they will push through. I guess Slanesh replays, so you can make it as a showcase of things that are possible to happen again. God damn. Brutal, but probably true. Big Soul Stealer hits the Empire here as these Outrider Grenade Launchers get stuck in melee combat. They don't want to be here, but Franz is trying to duel right now. He has Reichland Runefang popped. Nice, good buffs. Poking down the Supreme Sorcerer's Dark even while she is healing up. Empire Knight's supporting him too. He's going after her. Witch Elves are going to apply that Rampage though, so he has to be a little careful. He and his Demigryph Knights really don't want to get stuck here for too long fighting those Witch Elves. Second Outrider with Grenade Launcher is over here trying to fire into that Witch Elf clump. They would love to damage down, and Empire Knights are trying to cycle charge around into some of these dual swords infantry, whether it's Witch Elves or Black Ark Corsairs. They generally don't like being hit by cavalry. War Wagons and the Grenade Launchers falling back. Lifecaster is also running away as a horsey. And the Dark Elf Sorceress is up in the sky. I wonder if she bothers with Breath Attack or if she's just taking in the breather. And the Empire's falling back. Franz and his Demigryphs get big shots onto the Manticore, and then the Grenade Launchers are taking out a lot of these little Halberdiers that are around. I guess Dread Spears aren't Halberdiers, but whatever. Dark Elf Sorceress tries a Breath Attack from very, very far away, but the Empire Knights just disengage as it comes out, so it mostly misses, and an Earthblood's even going to heal them up on the way out. Manticore takes big damage and routes off, and then Demigryph Knights are chilling. War Wagons continue to hurt that Supreme Sorceress of Dark. The Empire frontline has been killed. You know, the Dark Elves won there, and that's fine for them. They're going through great. Empire Knights charged in and immediately got rampaged. Looks like they will die in this place. Manticore's trying to peel off the War Wagons and the Outriders Grenade Launchers. Those Outriders try and punish the big old blob of Dark Elves. The Dark Sorceress is even going to opt in to help terror out off the Empire Knights and get things moving again. So the Empire is being pressured back, but they brought mostly kite resources, so they're fine with that. Franz is ready with his Demigryph Knights to take a fight against anything big any day of the week. And is he going to go dive on that lady right now in the middle of all those Witch Elves? I'm not sure. It looks like he's not sure either. He's going to back off. Grenade Launchers deleting these little Witch Elves, and Manticore's diving once again down onto the War Wagons. Demigryph Knights with Halberds getting their Overcasted Regrowth to heal them up. While the Hellebronai fight back. They love fighting cavalry, but the cavalry could just opt out of that fight and leave. Karl Franz looks like he is gunning for that healthy Manticore. Demigryph Knights and Halberds are running away from the Hellebronai, but honestly, they might just want to stop and kill that Manticore, because the Hellebronai are about routed anyway. Franz beating up on a Manticore. Now that's Rampage, he can't continue to run away from him. He terror routes off these Dark Riders, and the War Wagons are trying to peel the Crows of Cain. Demigryph Knights and Halberds coming over here to say hello. Shattered the Dark Riders. Franz continues to whoop on Manticores. Dark Elves trying to regroup, ×2 speed, as we are running very low on time. Then we're trying to get a free little rear charge right off the Hellebronai, and then these Witch Elves are getting kited around. Big Soul Stealer attempt. Hits both the Skirmish Cav and an Empire Knight. Did not hit the Demigryph Knights and Halberds, however. Nice little bit of healing here for the Dark Elf Sorceress as she starts to run away. And the infantry of the Dark Elves are just trying to get here, man. They're just trying to be a part of things. As War Wagons shoot at any of the flying single entities, it's up to these two Outriders with Grenade Launchers to deal with all these Witch Elves and Black Ark Corsairs and nonsense. Manticore's going to dive in onto them. Should immediately route off those Grenade Launchers for the second time, putting them on the very edge of shattering. But an Earthblood helps them out a little bit, and that'll be the end of that Manticore. And away Franz and the Demigryphs let him out of there alive. War Wagons continue to kite around. A lot of ammunition left for them, considering how late in the game we are. And a little more kiting again, ×2 speed for just a brief moment. Now Franz is looking awfully hungrily at this lady. He's going to dive down. Does he have Golem Morals or anything up? Looks like he's just going to fight her au natural. Takes a big chomp on the backside. He needs to get away from all these Witch Elves. That would definitely rampage him as he's running into further Witch Elves. Can they get a shot on him before he gets into the sky? Oh god, that was so risky, but it looks like he's going to make it through. And the Outriders Grenade Launchers are helping to heal. Another Soul Stealer onto those Outriders, and even a War Wagon ends up driving into it. A little bit of a oops there for Pigman, but it's mostly to heal up the Supreme Sorcerer's Dark rather than the damage. I want to see a Grenade Launcher volley onto this healthy and clumped up Black Ark Corsair. That would be my ideal right now. Demigryph Knights are going to rout off those Witch Elves, and Franz flies overhead. More kiting continues. These Grenade Launchers are getting insane damage down onto those Black Ark Corsairs. Franz takes a brief duel in the sky. He actually loses it, and then gets a regrowth on his end to heal up. Blackheart Corsairs are trying to deal with War Wagons. Demigod Knights just charge in and take care of them. More grenades, kiting out these Dark Elves. And they're all very low. Army losses hits. That is GG. Grenades did fine. War Wagons did pretty darn great. Demigod Knights and Halberds did fine. Franz did great. Overall, like the whole Empire build did very well. Dark Elf Caster 2,200 value. Manticore is mixed, but overall fine value. And then the abundance of a Dark Elf front line beat the Empire State troops and then just got kited for the rest of the game. Alright. Let's go. Game 2. I might have to cast this whole one in ×2 speed. We'll see how it goes. But it is Kite versus Kite. And we don't have time for that. Pigman 202 with his double Troglodon, Slan of something, and a Rev Crystal for healing, versus Bavarat's Croxagores and Ancient Salamander with his own double healing. Though I think that's a life Slan. I don't know what Pigman's Slan is. His is a metal Slan with Final Trans and Searing Doom. This is a life Slan. Earthblood and stuff. Alright. Double Feral Troglodon, bunch of Feral Cold Ones, and then some Saurus versus Skinks, Croxagores, Rev Crystal, Life Slan, Salamander, Feral Cold Ones. Troggy Trog's moving up. Gonna get some good little poke here for a bit, and they start to fall back. A little bit of Kite, and then a Cav engagement. Looks like the Bound Banishment of the Green Slan, so Pigman Slan is going through these Feral Cold Ones as they're rampaging. And the Feral Troglodons are just going in deep in this fight. They're committing to it. I guess there's one Troglodon over here that's not a part of the fight. Feral Cold Ones fighting Feral Cold Ones on each side. Croxagore should be able to get through the Saurus Spear front line pretty effectively. Should. As we've lost 2 Feral Cold Ones on this side. But for the green team, we've lost 1. The second one's on his way as the Court of Waddle continue to fight against the Cohort of Waddle. Ooh, this should be a good trade for the green team then if they can take out the enemy Cohort of Waddle with a little more gusto. Overcasted Final Transmutation on this whole area, hitting 2 different Croxagores and 2 Skinks and some Feral Cold Ones. That's pretty good stuff. The animation stopped. The damage is still going through for that Final Transmutation. That was huge. Saurus Warriors trying to hold the line as best they can. Meanwhile, this Cohort of Waddle got their own Rev Crystal heal for a little bit. They're up to full HP. The other Cohort of Waddle is at half. The Troglodons are firing sideways down the line, hitting those poor Croxagores and knocking them down. The green front line is starting to buckle, though. These Saurus can't hold much longer. They're backing off. Can we ban Lizardmen like Kairos? They'll probably not make it through a pick and ban in next season. I extremely doubt it. Troglodon's kiting out the Cohort of Waddle. Getting some good damage on them every time they pew-pew. This guy's trying to figure out how to shoot right now. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. You're obstructed? Bullshit, you're obstructed. There you go. Anyway, green team is in probably mass exodus. The Cohort of Waddle is the only thing that's holding for them. The Troglodons are trying to kite back. Their metal Slan is having a tough time. But he's probably got another Final Transmutation soon that I imagine just chucks like right here. 2 Croxagores, 2 single entities in there, a bunch of Skinks. That's a huge Final Transmutation. Troglodons falling back. Cohort of Waddle holding as long as they can. Blood Stature despite damaging down the green Cohort of Waddle. Another Earth Blood out from their life Slans, doing just fine. Rev Crystal used healing somewhere. It's on the Cohort of Waddle. They are on fire right now. Why did they decide to break Lizardmen? I don't know. I don't know, man. Ask Lord Master of Sotek. He was literally shouted out in the patch notes as like, he wanted all this stuff, so we just put it in there. There it is. That's the Final Transmutation I wanted. It didn't hit the Slan, but whatever. It still hit like most of the Lizardmen army here. Hitting all these Croxagores, hitting all this stuff. It is overcast as well, so it's getting out really good damage. And then a follow-up Searing Doom is going to actually do some insane stuff. Oh, never mind. It was a follow-up Banishment. Still doing some insane stuff. I have to take it back. Troglodons continue to try and kite it out as Saurus Spears rally to the fight once more. Green is all of a sudden up on the balance of power as that overcasted Final Trans has gotten rid of almost all the Croxagores that he had to deal with. His Salon Mage Priest of Metal is 3,000 value, while the enemy Life Salon only has 600. Those Final Trans doing a lot of work. Ancient Salamander is shooting away from a distance, but he doesn't do nearly as well versus large targets as he does versus like clumps of Saurus or whatever, and it's going to just be GG. Slon, 3,000 value. Troglodons, 11 and 700. Nice. For Bavarat in his Crocscore rush, it was looking all right for a while, and then a couple of nasty final transmutations really caught him. And yeah, that is rough. Not a lot of value on really any of his units. Salamander just about paid for itself, but everything else struggled. That is GG. And that takes us to the finals. Pigman 202, the best versus Umais. And let's get this party started. Umais on Dark Elves versus Pigman's Grand Cathay. Xiaoming, Firing Rockets, Jade Lancers, 2 Crowmen, 3 Jade Warrior Crossbows with shields, 4 Jade Warriors, 5 Peasant Long Spears. Versus Umais' Dark Elf Caster of something. She doesn't look like the Dark Caster, though. She looks a little different. 2 Coldo Knights, 2 Dark Riders, 1 Dark Rider Repeated Crossbows, 4 Shades, 5 Bleak Swords, 1 Dread Spear. And then was that a Crows of Cain or Raven's Herald? I forget. There's something flying. It's the Ravens. It's the Crows of Cain. And then we have Spring Sorcerers of Fire with Fireball and Flamestorm. On the other side, we have all these Crowmen. We already went through the build in the build phase. The build screen, so it's fine. Xiaoming brought Justice Dragon's Breath. Okay, if we're going to do some kiting, I do have to go at ×3 speed, because I really do have to go quite soon. Shade's going to try and get some shots on Onyx Chrome, and Xiaoming's going to dive over here. No, he's not. He's just instead going to use his Breath Attack. Dark Rider Pier Crossbows take half their HP from the firing rockets. So do these other Shades. And Crowman and Jade Lancers are diving onto Shades. Shades can hold their own with Crows of Cain and other Dark Elf support. I don't know if they're going to win that fight versus the Dark Elves there. Looks like they're going to back off. One Onyx Crowman's at about half HP. The other Onyx Crowman, less than half HP, is the Crows of Cain taken down a peg. Take that, you. Jade Lancers falling back, too. So Grand Cathay is plenty happy to retreat to their firing rockets, which are still raining death upon the Dark Elves. ×2 speed. Here's the Dark Elves continue to advance. Dark Riders don't want nothing to do with a 2v1 versus Jade Lancers, but Coldwood Knights might want to get in on some of that action. Dark Rider Peter Cross was taking a little bit of poke for firing rockets, but not too much as Shades move up to go get in range. They haven't been spotted yet. They might get in range of that firing rocket where they can kill it in like 2 volleys. Maybe even 1, because it's already taken some damage from fireballs and stuff. It's down to 2 models because of fireball spam from Umais. Shade's going to fall back now. Looks like they didn't get the volley off that they really wanted. And we are getting a Flamestorm. It seems a little ambitious from the Dark Elves here, as it's not going to go the way they want, and also the Onyx Chrome and Jade Lancer are just going to dodge away from it, so that's a bit of a whoopsie. Firing Rocket still damaging their Shades a little bit, and the Crowmen are going to rout off the Crows of Cain. More Shades getting run down by Jade Lancers. Dark Rider Pure Crossbows also having a bad time. So Cathay hasn't had to move most of their force. Their mobility is winning. And yeah, Umais just surrenders at that point because he'd lost too much stuff. His spells didn't have much effect in the mobile game, and then he still hadn't even like gone and touched the box at all. So he just ditched it. I don't blame him. That was looking rough. His Shades look like they have more health in the end screen than they actually did because they didn't lose a lot of models yet, but they were like really low on HP. Pigman has Firing Rocket, 1200 value. Not that the values are really going to matter too much here. Croman did okay, Xiaoming did okay, but the rest of his box didn't even have to move yet. GG. On to game 2. It's the legendary goddamn triple bulls. Umais with his patented triple bulls versus Pigman. But instead of a lot of Ripperdactyls and other stuff, it does have 4 of those 400 gold skinks. I wonder how well this goes. I feel like those 400 gold skinks might fuck up the bulls, but I don't know. Maybe they have armor and missile resist that I'm not looking into. I just think of like a big bull taking all of these darts to its chest. I don't think of them as having armor because they're literally naked. Wait, that was game 2? This is game 1? Well, then they were mislabeled. Or whatever. I don't know. We'll get there. We'll cast them all. It's fine. Alright, for the bulls, we have the Great Taurus. He does have 50 armor, and he has 15% missile resist. Okay, that's not bad. Bale Taurus has a little bit more armor, too. Source of Prophet of Fire with Burning Head, Cascading Fire Cloak, and Fireball. And then a front line of Chaos Dwarf Warriors and Goblin Laborers. Gordo's Backstabber on the ground. 3 balls, 3 bowls, but also 3 balls. On the other side, for the Lizardmen, we have Clawstone Hunters, ROR Ripperdactyls. Some Feral Cold Ones, a second Ripperdactyl, 4 of those Skink Skirmishers, 2 Skink Cohorts with Javelins? No, just 1. And then a Skink Cohort frontline with some Croxigores as well. Goblin Laborers route on the charge. The other Goblin Laborers are thinking about routing as darts hit them in the face. And there they go. A couple little early routes. Though it's Goblin Laborers, they do that. They route all the time. Goblin Laborers are legitimately more cowardly than Skaven. It's not a good time. Really nice breath attack in from the Bale Taurus onto those Ripperdactyls, getting some nice free poke damage, and another Fireball follows out. It whiffs on the Clawstone Hunters, unfortunately, or it just barely nicked them. Hard to tell, but it really didn't do that much damage, so I'm just going to say it missed. Chaos Dwarves are in the fight with the Croxigores and Skinks, getting those Skinks to maybe rout soon. And the Bale Taurus is shimmying around. Skink Cohorts, Cohort Waddle, still on Rev Crystal. He might be in a little over his head here. We'll see. Maybe the Chaos Dwarf Lord can come help him out. Clawstone Hunter's trying to get that Great Taurus in the sky. Nice Fireball down the side. That should be a big old clump of Ripperdactyls. It shouldn't miss this time. It did not. It hit some stuff. And now the Bale Taurus and Great Taurus are going to take this fight. We've seen this before. And yeah, Pigman opts out because, like, I don't know if he's seen it before, but the Bale Tauruses, if they can fight with the Ripperdactyls in the air, actually do, like, an insane amount of damage. Chaos Dwarves have so far kept the Skink Skirmishers away from their bulls, so that's pretty good. Oh, but that's a Salon of Metal. And he has Final Trans again. Big overcasted Final Trans onto the Bale Taurus and the Great Taurus. While the Cohort of Waddle get up here and start fighting some fools. Clawstone Hunters trying to get off the ground as well. Another Fireball towards them, but they get into the sky. The Fireball does curve up to keep up with them, though. And then a Breath Attack tries to poke these guys down. Toad Rage causes them to rampage into the Bale Taurus. They should be able to beat this guy up, though, with their increased damage. And the other Great Taurus is also having issues. For the Chaos Dwarves on the ground, they're doing okay in certain parts. I mean, they are just Chaos Dwarves and Goblin and Orc Laborers, so it's not like they really do that much damage. The Clawstone Hunters are getting whooped on by this Bale Taurus, and they do Terror Route away from him. That last Cascading Fire Cloak gives him 65 melee defense. Great Taurus is routing. Bale Taurus is fine. He's trying to chase off the Clawstone Hunters now, who aren't naturally routing yet. They're just terror routing. They might actually come back. And they're back. And the Skinks are here. This is the main problem I have, is now you have 400 gold Skinks underneath you just throwing darts up into your bum. That's not great. Great Taurus is routing. We still have some Chaos Dwarves running around the map. Balance power is 50-50. Alright. Darts pursuing the Bale Taurus, getting a little bit of poke damage on him. Slon is doing his best over here. I see a clump that could be punished by Final Trans, but it's mostly random-ass Chaos Warriors. It's probably not worth Final Trans. I wonder if he has his Banishment up. If he has his Banishment up right there, that is South City. Hit him. Hit him in the face. Rev Crystal's trying to heal some stuff up. Croxigores are fighting their best. They get a Rev Crystal, actually, for the Sacred Croxigore ROR, not trying to save this other Croxigore that is in trouble. Breath Attack down the side from Umai's, doing good work on the Ripperdactyls. Actually kind of missed, strangely, large part of it. Here comes the Banishment we were hoping for, though the Orc Laborers are terror routing away already, still accidentally dodge it, but it'll still hit the Chaos Dwarves that matter. Getting some decent little poke in there. Lizardmen do seem to be dominating the backfields, and the Great Taurus is still routing. Okay, he's been routing this whole time. Got it, so he's back. Another Fireball is out onto the Clawstone Hunters, while the Bale Taurus routes off some Skinks for fun. Slon is chilling, man. He's waiting here. He's like, I have Final Trans, man. You come down here, you fight me. See what happens. Lost on Hunters trying to get the Great Taurus out of here, even though they're being pursued by 2 angry Bale Tauruses. On the ground, all the Chaos Dwarves are routing now. It's only Gordas who's actually hanging on as far as ground forces go. Sking's just kiting out anybody else. Gordas not having the best time. Little breath attack down from the Bale Taurus on some fleeing Feral Cold Ones. Looks like it overall missed. Yeah, none of them I see are on fire, so looks like it didn't hit him at all. Lizardmen are just trying to chase down the Chaos Dwarves. The Chaos Dwarves are trying to chase down the Lizardmen. Do get rid of the Clawstun Hunters, though it's not enough to rally their Great Taurus. And he's coming back to the fight. Bale Taurus is trying to route some stuff, and Gordos is running away. Meanwhile, the Lizardmen stop chasing all those Chaos Dwarves, and they do come back over here. Gordos is now surrounded by a shit ton of Velociraptors and Ripperdactyl Riders. We'll see what the Bale Tauruses can do about this. Do they have any breath attacks left? 0 on him, 1 on him. So if they could get over here, they could get a decent breath attack. I don't know how they plan to deal with the full health cohort of Waddle, though. They don't have any good spells for that, so they might have to save their breath attack for such things, but I don't know. There's still healthy Feral Cold Ones. There's still a Metal Slon that has big Final Transmutation energy. I just don't know how they can do it. Here comes another Fireball out onto these Ripperdactyls that are trying to get back into the sky. Fireball takes out 2 of their models. Here's an Overcasted Final Transmutation on the Lord. He is going to get that Chalice of Blood and Darkness healing. So that'll mitigate some of the Final Trans damage, though some of it transfers over to Gorda's Backstabber. And Gordas is going to route. Bale Taurus also looking like he's going to route as these Skinks just walk after him and shoot darts into his butt while Velociraptors keep him on the ground. 0 leadership for him as he continues to take damage. When does he tick down? There it is. He ticks down. He's routing close-ish to the edge of the map, though I wonder if he'll actually go all the way off, leaving just the Chaos Sorcerer Prophet Dwarf Lord of Fire. Dwarf. Uses another breath attack onto the Feral Cold Ones and then just gives it in. GG, can't kill everything with this one fire guy. Taurus has struggled a bit. Got some decent value, but not as much as Umayas is used to in this matchup, unfortunately. Chaos Dwarves struggled, and the Goblin Orc Laborers died. For Pigman, 3,500 on the final Transcaster. Ripperdactyls both died horribly. Croc scores did okay, but it was mostly the final Transcaster. And then the Dark Skinks doing okay, I guess. Not a ton of value. GG's Metal Slon. And it is 10:30, right about when I was hoping I would finish so that I can scuttle off to bed, because I'm going to have to stream for you people tomorrow when the patch comes out, won't I? Umayas and Pigman getting to finals. Pigman taking the 2-0 win. And that is it for our playoffs. Ugh, we did it. A lot of streams, a lot of games we cast. We cast every single game for playoffs. We did it. Greyseer Berserk won. Storm Vermin Chosen One won. Chieftain was Pigman 202 to best. And then Clan Rat was Salinator, and Skaven Slave was Galruch. All right, everybody, I have to go to bed. We have been streaming like literally all day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, then I don't know what you want out of life. Pickled Buddha with the $5. Thank you for the long hours casting. Ida Blast watching. Cheers. Cheers to you, man. Hope you're doing well. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.